Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How we doing? How are we doing? Hello, front office. How are you?
We're doing good. My man, how you doing?
Dude, we're fucking sucking and fucking, dude, per usual. You know how we
Dude,
do.
the usual bit.
The usual. I saved a, funny me. I saved a story draft earlier because I noticed that that's how people will be getting stuff out real quick. And didn't save, so fuck it. All right.
Cool.
Hell yeah, baby. So what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday, having a great start to their week. We are 2 days into the new week. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Great NFL weekend. A few sports, and NBA, college, whatever you guys had, whatever your cup of tea is. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Made a lot of money on the sports bets. I know we had a pretty up and down week on the actual money Mongo money lines. We started off super hot, and then we kind of trailed off a little bit, but tis what it is. Can't win them all. So we'll get them tomorrow. That's how it goes. But got a big day ahead of us. Next 2 hours we're gonna cover. You got a bunch of shit to cover. You know what it is, episode 71. We're gonna be breaking down a little bit of UFC 309. Probably getting more into that. Actually, we'll talk quite a bit about Jon Jones and Stipe tonight. I'll put out a prediction. We'll give you our picks, and then I'll put out a prediction video later on the week. But we'll talk about that. We got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson coming up on Friday, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We had some sports news today, or football news today, with the Bears. They put a little duct tape on their problem there. Fired offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then Daniel Jones. They're saying that Daniel Jones might be done, dude. Might be done in New York. They say old Shefty Poo today said he doesn't expect Daniel Jones to take another snap for the New York Giants. So interesting there. I did see Tom Rizzo or Izzo, or maybe was it him or is it Tony Grossi? Somebody in Cleveland media said, "Boy, should the Browns kick the tires on Daniel Jones next year?" And I want to light my fucking eyes on fire. So let's hope that we're not there, front office, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the Daniel Jones. I'm sorry, I know you moved on. Is Daniel Jones hurt? Did I miss something?
I don't know. So today, uh, Adam Schefter says today,
Thanks, sweetie. Closing the door.
thanks. Hey. So he says today, old Danny Jones.
What up, Dale?
What up, Dale? How we doing, big dog? Shefty Poo says today.
Because this is kind of big news.
I feel
You
like it
know?
is. I mean, this is, we've been waiting. Well, I think people have been waiting on this for a while. I don't know. Hey, Pushing Mongo, number one show in Mexico. We love you. Hola, como te amos? Como te amos? I didn't even put our background in there today. Look at that. Boom.
I'm
There
sorry,
we go.
you're trying to intro a different topic, but like you said this, and I like heard it, and I was just like, wait, hold on, what?
Yeah, well, I was just introducing the things we were going to cover. We could start with
Yeah,
this
yeah.
for sure. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
no problem, dude. I mean, yeah, absolutely. So
Thank you, thank
We'll
you.
start with there, Daniel Jones. Yeah. So it says today. Yeah, I don't know. Adam Schefter apparently goes on. He goes on TV today. I guess this is on ESPN. But he says he believes Daniel Jones' era is likely over for the Giants. I would guess that we don't see Daniel Jones play another down for the Giants. That would be my guess right now. Brian Daboll's tone. So yesterday, if you remember, after he's not hurt, but after the game, they asked him to basically, going forward, they basically asked him to commit to Daniel Jones, and he couldn't do it. He said everything's under the microscope and everything's under consideration. And then they said, well, what about Daniel Jones at quarterback? And he reiterated that everything was under consideration. So take from that from what you will. And I'm guessing that's what he's saying. He's saying because Daboll's tone yesterday was different than it was in other weeks. It was always Daniel Jones our starter, Daniel Jones is our starter, and then yesterday we're evaluating everything. So
God, I don't know. I hate to call a fellow NFL analyst and insider just like ourselves wrong, but I think he's speaking something into existence here.
man,
Mid season, week 10, week 11. I mean, they don't have a young quarterback sitting behind Daniel Jones, as far as I know.
what do you mean?
You know,
got the
I
you got the mobster back there, baby.
oh god, yeah, really? Yeah, fuck no.
Vito,
Fuck no.
baby.
Yeah, no. I rest my case. You don't have a young quarterback that you really need to see what you have in.
Who the fuck is
Um,
their backup quarterback?
you're gonna ride off the into the sunset with Daniel Jones this year, and probably draft a quarterback early, at some point next. As a Browns fan, it kind of terrifies me. This is one of the teams that's going to be in on a quarterback most certainly,
Well, you
and
hold
could
on.
easily.
You hold on. Are you forgetting who the backup quarterback? Well, if I this might change your mind.
Okay,
Did you forget who did you
I
forget
have no idea who it is. So this whoever you say is going to be a total surprise to me. I promise.
Mizzou legend Drew Lock sitting behind him, dude?
No shit.
Look,
Damn it.
look. Drew
Okay,
Lock. Drew Lock is. We can both
he's
agree that
young
Drew
enough.
Lock is probably not a starting franchise quarterback, but I would feel comfortable. He's the guy that if somebody went down week 10, 9, 10, 11, and like we needed him to finish the year off, I think he could do it.
Yeah, 100%. And he's young enough. I mean, well, God, he's got to be over 20, 25 or 26, I think,
God,
because he
he's
came in
gotta
late.
be
So I'm gonna say he's 28. That's my guess.
28.
Ah,
He turned 28 2 days ago for an
shut
offhand.
the fuck, chat.
He
It's one of
turned
those days. You know what I mean?
he
You know what I mean,
turned
chat. I'm not
28
wrong today.
11/10 of he was born 11/10 of 1996.
Damn,
You sick
uh,
fuck.
dude. Yeah, chat. We're
Let's
speaking into
go.
existence here. But okay, Drew. I mean, even though he's 28, that's actually a little older than I thought. Or like he feels just because he came into the league a little bit later. In his college career. You do want to see what you have with him. So maybe Shefty actually did speak some facts into that. Um, I feel like if you're going to bench Daniel Jones, you really got to come out and say that. I mean, he's been your starter for what 3 or 4 years. So it can't just be something like Sunday, the court, everybody's going out on the field. Oh yeah, by the way, we're going to start Drew today. You know what I'm saying? It can't be one of those situations. Daniel
No.
Jones has been getting torched by your shitty franchise for 3-4 years at least.
All right. So, but Mike, okay, but while we're in this conversation, what if this was the last time you play it, and then what if? Tell me it wouldn't be the most Browns move ever to not draft anybody, not go with Deshaun, kick the tires on this motherfucker, dude. Tell me you don't have faith in
Uh,
this guy to come to be a Cleveland Brown. We know there's no way that if he was bad on the Giants, that we're the franchise that's going to fix him.
no, no, but I do think that Kevin is a better coach than Brian Dable. You know what I'm saying? Like there is reasons. I think given a good game plan, Daniel Jones at best could be like 20 to like 15 to 20 quarterback in the league. Maybe that might be a little high. Maybe 20 to 25. But he's at least serviceable. Like I'd take him over Jameis. I'd take him over Joe Flacco. I'd say
Yeah,
I'm going to take DW, but it's not by much, honestly. It's really
yeah,
it's like
for sure.
this
I'm taking DW too. Until I see DW behind I will be the first guy that says he sucks if we see him on a completely healthy football team and he is terrible.
no,
But
hold on now. We did, baby. We saw that for what was that?
yeah,
2.5 quarters, and it was 10 for 12.
yeah. I mean, he looked good, but we gotta get him back. I don't know. I hope we don't. That's not the end of it. But who knows what the fucking Browns are gonna do between now and next year? I don't know. I read today that maybe it was Grossi again. I don't know. I get these insiders all fucked up, but they were saying today on that radio show in the morning that the tone in Berea is odd, is what they said. They said that people in the building are acting as if they need to get to a certain amount of as if they've been told they need to get to a certain amount of wins to keep jobs in the building. So, what do you think about
I'm
that?
not buying
So,
that, dude. Shut. Let me tell you something. If you fire Kevin Stefanski because he's starting fucking Jameis Winston and
no,
shitty offensive linemen,
but I do think you could fire Andrew Barry.
straight up, I'm so like. Let's do that. If you don't mind, I'm gonna pull up Andrew Barry's draft record as a Brown, and because here's the thing: the dude makes fantastic trades.
Yeah,
He really
I was just
does.
talking about this yesterday. He is a cap guru. He is an absolute trade genius, but my boy can't draft for a fuck.
I mean, it is bad.
Bad. I mean, look,
It
Cedric
is bad.
Tillman might be something, but we've still only seen that twice. So I'm still, he obviously has
Yeah.
talent. But and Martin Emerson flashed
So
last year, but he is.
this list isn't too bad. But I'm just gonna go run through some names. You tell me, good pick, bad pick.
Okay.
Okay. Jedrick Wills.
Yeah, you already know. Bad.
Yeah. Grant Delpit.
Good.
Yep, agreed. Jordan Elliott. That's a push for me.
Well, it'd have to depend on who they're drafting. I don't know who's there. It would all depend on who they're getting
True.
drafted over to, because
So we got him in the 3rd round, pick 88.
I mean, I know that who drafted Anthony Schwartz over. I know Anthony Schwartz got drafted over some big boy receivers. I know that we didn't. I know we passed George Pickens. I know
Yeah.
we.
Yeah.
I just feel
I
like
think that
there's a
was
lot
before
of
Barry, though. I
Pickens
do.
wasn't. Barry was, or Pickens wasn't, but Anthony Schwartz might have been, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I look, dude. Here's my thing. John Dorsey missed some, but I think I would take Dorsey back over Barry. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm
look what
looking at
he's
this
done.
list, and it's actually not that bad. I mean, like honestly, he drafts defensive players pretty well because he got Grant Delpit. Um, I think Nick Harris has been a serviceable sub at center. He's not great, but that's a 5th round pick that's getting some minutes. DPJ, Greg Newsome. I mean, that was round 1. I think he's overvalued as a round 1. He's not that good, but like early 2nd, mid 2nd, I think is fine for Greg. Joker. Okay, Joker was a nice pick, right? That's a 2nd round pick that really hit. You're right, Anthony Schwartz. You're right, Andrew Barry. Fuck
And
that one
and
up.
and I know he drafted Anthony Schwartz over. Let's look what Anthony Schwartz got drafted in
Do
here.
that while I
Let's
keep
look
it.
at.
James Hudson.
One before I get off John Dorsey. John Dorsey, I don't think it's any goddamn. I don't think there's any coincidence that he leaves the Browns, goes to the Eagles in 2020, and they've been a force since 2020. And then he goes from
Yeah.
from 2020, he goes right into senior personnel executive of the Detroit Lions. And who's been on top of the fucking world since 2021? John Dorsey.
He just had to stop in Cleveland first.
Detroit
Martin
Lions.
Emerson was a nice pick.
But he's been
Alex Wright.
dog shit this year. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not considering him a good pick anymore, because you can't just have one good year and then an
One
abysmal
bad year.
year. Like
Yeah.
you're now, we don't even know what you are now, because you have been really good and the absolute polar opposite, and it's just like, it's you can't even judge him anymore.
God. 100% agree. Do you remember when we took Cade York in the 4th round?
I do remember that.
Yeah. Perion Winfrey, not good. David Bell, not good. Alex Wright, passable. Jerome Ford, okay. Nice.
So he was picked
Michael
in
Woods, nothing.
the 20. Let's look at the 2021 draft. 2021 NFL draft, because he was picked 91st, which is the 3rd round. Yeah, 3rd round. So 20. Let's look at the 2021 NFL draft here.
I almost don't want to do this. DTR, Isaiah McGuire, Dwan Jones.
Let's find
It's
Anthony Schwartz here. I think I just saw his dumbass name. Here he is, right here. Anthony Schwartz. So let's look at who he picked him over. Nico Collins.
Thank God, dude. That would have been suicide.
No. Okay, wait. So Nico got picked. Yeah. Okay. So Nico got picked
two
two
before him.
before. Okay. So we've picked him in front of
Cleveland's
Amon-Ra
honestly
St.
been a
Brown.
nice offensive line. Okay, Amon-Ra. I'm just looking at players who in there. Ramondre Stevenson. Okay.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba. Okay. We wouldn't have taken Chuba, but Oh, Kenny Gainwell. How about that? Noah Gray, tight end.
So maybe it's not. I mean, it's still pretty bad. I mean, there's still a lot of players here I would have taken over fucking.
I mean, it's really hard to like go down the list of draftees because it's like they had draft stock for a reason. You know what I mean? I feel like Anthony Schwartz was one of the guys. I don't really know what his draft stock was or like where he was projected, but to me it's like five. It's like 10 to 20 picks
All
after.
right, so where is Anthony Schwartz then? So Anthony Schwartz is
He
here.
was
Who was
91.
our pick before that? Let's look. Let's see if we. I would like to just be miserable just for a second. Okay, so
Oh,
Jeremiah was a
Worth.
good pick.
Worth.
Can I just
I think.
be? Can I be completely honest here though? Just really quick, I would forego drafting this guy right here, even though I love him. If I could get Nico Collins or Amon-Ra St. Brown, I would. But I do love
Yeah.
JOK. So hard to look back on that one. Elijah Moore, obviously we didn't. He's on our team
Jeez.
now. Greg
Greg Newsom was
Newsom.
one that year. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
He
know.
doesn't even
There's
want to
just
play
there's just
football.
some there's just so yeah. I mean, so where are we at on the? Did you get done reading his draft picks?
Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple left. Like he had DeWand, obviously, last couple of
Dewan. Well,
years.
and here's the other thing. I
Cedric.
don't understand why he just loves drafting a guy. What up, Snippin' Hammer? How we doing, big dog? Um, I it's one of those things where it's just like um he loves drafting a guy with character issues. It's like I don't
Yeah.
understand that either. It's like Michael Hall. I know there's other ones. But it's just like I just don't understand. I mean, obviously, then people point to the Deshaun thing, which whatever. But um, Daniel Jones being done in New York, I guess let's not get too far off that. I mean, let's kind of get back to that. I guess I don't know if anybody's going to get fired in Cleveland this year, but if it is going to be anybody, I think it'd be, I don't know. I think it would be
Oh, what's that
Anthony
dude's
Barry.
name? Who's like the advisor to Barry?
Yeah, the guy that does Podesta that does
Yeah,
nothing.
D Podesta.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think he goes anywhere unless I don't
Well,
think
he's got to go. I think he's the problem. I feel
yeah.
like he's the draft expert guy, and they let AB do it the rest of the year.
I just don't really understand what's going on there. It's a shit show. But I don't know what. So let's say that the Giants do move on. Let's get back on track here. Giants move on from Daniel Jones. I mean, I guess what do they do? Where are they at right now? Current draft odds.
They should be tied with us, right? Or if not,
Draft
one ahead.
order. Okay, so let's look at the current draft order. Right now, they are 2. They've got the 2 pick. We've got the 4 pick right now. So they're 2-8. They've lost 5 in a row. So they've got so the New York's got the 2 pick right now.
Yeah, Jags, Giants, us.
Obviously, if they're done with Daniel Jones,
They're drafting a quarterback.
they're drafting a
Either
quarterback.
way, no. I think regardless if they feel like Daniel Jones is like gonna turn it around or something, I think you gotta draft a quarterback. His contract is not getting any cheaper, and it's just one of those situations where you have to get younger at the position if you're going to be in the top part of the draft.
Well, they can find somebody that
Over
can
his
get the ball to
contract.
Malik Neighbors consistently, and that Tyron Tracy kid's pretty nice. Get rid of get rid of Devin Singletary, dude. Get his dumb ass out of
Ugh.
there. Get him out of there. Tyron Tracy has been nice. Like if there's been other than Malik Neighbors when he's on the field and he can get the ball, there really hasn't been any other bright spots for the Giants this year. But Tyron Tracy has been nice, and I think he is a good running
Yeah,
back.
he is.
And I think that they have found
But
a
even
path
then,
going forward.
like that's a guy that you didn't invest a lot of draft capital in, so easy to replace. I mean, like he has been serviceable. He's been a solid running back for them, but you know, um,
Yeah, but sometimes guys are like that. I mean, but that's a lot of these guys. They're I mean, look at all these guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th, 5th round draft picks that weren't ever
see, to me, I see Damian Pierce and Tyron Tracy.
possible. Yeah, but possibly. But we don't know that. All I'm saying
Facts.
is that all I'm saying is right now is that right now we don't know. Tyron Tracy very well. He could be that, but he also could be the next guy that is. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
how long did they say Tom Brady was just somebody until he was 3 Super Bowls deep, and so he wasn't just
Sure.
who you saw
Sure.
anymore, you know? So it's one of those things where Tyron Tracy, as of right now, they have not had a running back. I mean, Saquon, he's the best person to touch a ball since Saquon Barkley has left. So it's like, you know, if you think that's your guy going forward and you go out and you get Shador or insert any of those fucking guys, and then you
He's not Cam Ward.
please take it. Well, look, I love Cam Ward, and I know we talked about him last night, but even I'm not 100% sold on. I mean, I like Cam Ward, and I want him, but he showed some shit this past weekend that, you know, I think
Yeah, I'm with you.
he is a talking about projects. You know, we talked about Anthony Richardson being a project. I would be scared of the Browns being like scared off by him if he came in and wasn't great all the, you know, I mean, look at how
Sure, yeah,
it's
with
hard to play in
Baker.
Cleveland, and
Yeah.
I just feel like you come in there and like, is that to play? Is Cleveland ever going to let anybody actually be a project quarterback, or is it just you don't come in and immediately win in the first year by? So it's like, what, you know, so what is that? So, you know, Cam Ward kind of worries me, but, you know, say New York goes and gets a Cam Ward or a Ewers or whatever, insert any of those guys, you bring them in. You've already got Malik Neighbors, who is a, you know, you and I have already said that, you know, outside of Brian Robinson or Brian Thomas, there's probably, you know, it's probably tied between Brian Thomas and Malik on who's had the best rookie year. Brian Thomas has been there basically all year long.
Yeah,
Both on
it's
bad
close.
offenses. You know,
I
both
think I
shined
might
on bad
lean with
offenses.
Malik, but
Yeah, and I think we both agreed that day that Malik is the better receiver. But as far as
yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah,
who's
yeah.
having like great rookie years, they're both pretty tied. You know, but then you got Tyron Tracy, who, like I said, he could be a Damian Pierce. Who, boy, where the fuck is Damian? Well, he's watching Todd Mixon fucking, or Joe Mixon, Todd Mixon, what the fuck am I about? Joe Mixon fucking
Yeah.
mop up in Houston.
You wanna
But
hear something ugly?
yes.
Just Daniel Jones's contract. He signed a 4-year extension in 2023. Um, and 2024 is the second year. They do have an out. They do have an out at 22 million dead cap. Um, but he's getting paid $35 million this year.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, and that's why I think those guys need to go. I mean, this is a situation, an Anthony Richardson situation, where obviously we're a little further down the line here, but I think that the New York Giants, everyone that had we've seen the viral clips that came from Hard Knocks, where even that the GMs, that dumb fucking GM, even his kid knew he should go draft Jaden Daniels or whatever. You know, the kid's like, obviously Malik Neighbors is great, but like anybody that had
Yeah.
a hand
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah. Yeah.
signing Daniel Jones long term and then going forward with, let's draft a playmaker in Malik Neighbors and let's hit the gas and let Saquon walk. You should, everyone that has that had that mentality should go. And the owner is, there's a video of the owner being like, I will not be able to sleep if Saquon ends up in Philadelphia. And then he ends up in Philadelphia. And what has he done? He's been God, basically. So it's like, everyone that had that had a hand in that decision making should go, because you could have very well not have signed Daniel Jones to that 23, you know, that deal you just read, and then went and got somebody in this draft. You know, and this year's draft's kind of sketchy because obviously, they had a shot at Jay Daniels, they didn't take him. You know, they
Yeah.
could have taken Jaden Daniels, which
Yeah.
obviously, you know, he's hit or miss, but it's just one of those things where I think there's been so many failures along the line there that if they're gonna boot Daniel Jones out week 11 or whatever the fuck it is, then like everyone that signed him to that deal should have to go too, because you're admitting that you just
Yeah. I
signed
agree.
him to max money, and half the way through the very first year of that deal,
Yeah.
basically, of that deal kicking in, you're done. You're done. He's never taken a snap in New York again, apparently. So
Well, and that's why I think great insider Shefty's wrong. I that takes a lot for a front office and a coaching staff to admit, hey, we made a mistake here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go the whole year and you play it out with Daniel Jones, and if it sucks, it sucks. I mean, it looks like it's gonna suck, right? So, but I could be wrong. Maybe we see Drew Lock under center, but even if Drew Lock is under center and they win a couple more games, if I'm the Giants, I'm still burning my front
yeah,
office. I'm still probably burning my coach. I'm still drafting a quarterback at now 7 or 8 or whatever, depending on how many games they actually win with Drew.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they've got to. I think, like I said, no matter what Drew Lock does, he's just a little bit of tape. He's look, Mizzou quarterbacks are career backup guys. They're great backup
Yep.
quarterbacks, but that's what it needs to be. Even if he wins somehow, even if he wins out somehow, if Drew Lock goes and wins every goddamn last game that the New York Giants have. Like, one, I'm sure the front office is going to be like, God damn, please stop winning games. Please stop winning games. But either way, they're going to find a way to draft a quarterback. But they've got to replace the system because, and that kind of leads me into, so let me read these comments because that leads me into the next thing we're going to talk about. But it says, Tingle says, so many college quarterbacks are great in college because of their system. Green says, you heard me say it before, the Ryan Leaf being better than Peyton Manning, and then Ryan Leaf went to jail. The studs they've around him, they get to the NFL, they don't have the same system, not the studs at wide receiver, running back, O-line, then they can't produce like they did in college. A lot of these teams, top college quarterbacks play shit defenses. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like look at Cam Ward, for instance. Like he was throwing some touchdowns this past weekend that are just like these lobs over these guys that are like, and these like
Right. Yeah.
crazy
That's not going to
miracle
fly.
scramble throws that he's
Yeah.
making, and I'm like, those are getting intercepted. Like that's getting picked the fuck off in the NFL. Ain't happening. That shit ain't happening. But I agree, guys. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why you look at these guys that I mean, obviously LSU, those guys have been balling, but I mean, like, say if Joe Burrow would have came to the league and not been shit or whatever, or who was Burrow LSU with Chase? Yeah, Chase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Chase,
Jay Jettas, baby.
Jay Jettas, Grant Delpit, fucking just stacked team. So like, if Joe Burrow would have came to the league and just been dog shit, it would have been like, well, of course he was great in college because he literally had a starting NFL team around him at LSU. So, but Daniel Jones, but that, Dan Jones, if he goes, they got to go. And that leads us into the next thing with Tingle's Bears, which I would, today, Shane Waldron. I posted a video today. I've given my thoughts on this morning, like right after it happened. But offensive coordinator for the Bears, Shane Waldron, fired this morning. And to me, what in the fuck does this even do? Front office, what does this do besides?
Well, we've luckily the Chicago Bears have dodged my shoulder mounted bazooka the last couple weeks because I've been talking too much about the Indianapolis Colts. But this is the perfect example of bad franchises making bad decisions. I've said it multiple times, multiple weeks, repeatedly. I'm sorry, Tingles. I'm sorry. You have a rookie quarterback, okay, who has clearly had some very high highs and some extremely low lows and is struggling overall, I would say. Even if you're a Bears fan, you look at Caleb and you see half good, half bad. But I think the half bad really outweighs the good things that he has done this year, which cannot be taken away from him. But now what you've done is you have completely derailed his system that he just spent, 5-6 months learning. You're going to try to implement something in the middle of the year and really just do a patch job until the off season where you can hire a guy that's going to bring in some stability. Okay. Again, rookie quarterbacks and scheme changes do not work well together. Ask Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I agree. I look, the thing today is like my thought process on this is this is clearly scapegoating somebody. Like this is just okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna fire. Let's fucking fire Shane Waldron, who I like how he says not smiling now because if anybody remembers Sunday, there was that video that came out of him sitting next to Caleb Williams, and he was smiling, and Caleb Williams was looking at him like, "Bro, get the fuck away from me! Like, what are you smiling about right now?" So, this guy, look to me, Eberflus. This is another team that needs to get the entire system out. Now, obviously, you're never going to do that Week 11 of the NFL season, but I do think that instead of doing what just happened, oops. Just fucked up my camera. But instead of doing what you guys just did and firing this offensive coordinator and then replacing him with the goddamn wide receiver passing coordinator coach who is from the
Come on.
from the Panthers, okay, the Panthers who suck, who don't have good receivers. have never been able to have not developed receivers in quite some time. So he gets the job. Why not just, if you want to like light some fire under this team, in my opinion, like that move does nothing. That's a lateral move, and basically that just kind of tells me that Eberflus is gone at some point. But why not, or like at the end of the year at this point? Because I don't think they're going to fire anybody else this year. But why
Well,
not at this
and
point? Well, I just feel like you should have just fired the coach. Like, why not just fire Eberflus and then make somebody else head coach? Because like I think he is the system is the problem there, and we're watching him. This is now going to be the second first-round draft pick quarterback that we've seen this regime just run right into the fucking ground, Justin Fields, who got booted out, and nobody there, none of the players wanted Justin Fields to get traded, whether you like him or not. They loved him, so they didn't want him
yeah,
to, because
yeah,
they knew that it
he
wasn't a
wasn't the
Justin Fields
problem.
problem. It was Shane Waldron and fucking uh, head coach. They never fire head coaches. Yeah, but do they don't? I feel like they didn't.
There's a
Matt
cop
Patricia
out
get
answer
fired?
because even if you should, here's the thing: I'm sure that Caleb did not like Shane, right? I'm sure that Caleb, unless this franchise is just completely inept, or I imagine they had to go to him and say, "Caleb, can you work with this guy? You know, is there a future here in the system that you see?" And I'm sure Caleb said, "No, this guy's trash. Get him out of here." Sometimes you can't listen to your rookie quarterback. I know you gave him a lot to get him. I know you handed the keys to the franchise to him, but that doesn't mean that you have to trust every decision that he makes. There's a reason that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady worked for so long. I know you just talked about Tom. Um, what year do you think Tom actually started to be able to make calls on that team and system? 6, 7, maybe? Just a guess. Do you think Jaden Daniels is making a lot of calls for the Commanders right now? I'm going to say probably not. Okay. No, that's a different side of the coin, right? He's having success and Caleb Williams is struggling. But still, rookie quarterbacks it's their first year in the league. There's no way that they have the ability to be impartial and make, educated decisions because they just haven't been there long enough.
Yeah, well,
this is a terrible
yeah,
decision.
yeah, I agree. I mean, that's like I said. That's if they, because here's the thing. I mean, I don't even know if they did that, because they're saying that. I mean, half that locker room purely wants Tyler Bajan in there, so I don't even know if Caleb Williams is going to be finishing the year. Truly, I mean, that's been the talking point on
I don't
TV
think
all
people
day.
like him.
I don't think people. I think Caleb Williams is a cocky fuck. Which I think he's. Look, I mean, uh, I posted in there earlier today. I posted in the Discord just to ask this question. I want to remember to ask this question just because I want to. This fucking webcam.
Hit me, baby. I'm ready for another one.
Well, what is worse here? So I want to know, what everybody in the chat. Who had the worst post draft statement? Was it Josh Rosen getting up on the stand and telling everybody that he's about to show whatever every team that did that they made 11 mistakes or whatever the fuck he said, getting drafted, and then he obviously never became shit. And Josh Rosen sucks. I don't even think he's in the league anymore. So then Josh Rosen.
Nope.
Now
Selling
you got
insurance,
Caleb
baby.
Williams, who gets drafted, immediately texts their punter and says, you won't be punting very much this year. And now everybody's blowing him up because as of last week, the punter now has more yards this year than Caleb does combined,
Yikes.
total yards on offense. So which one is worse, do you think? That Josh Rosen just basically saying he's gonna, see, I agree. I see Rosen by far, or do you think Caleb Williams, who's now eating his
It's a bad
words?
look either way.
It's a bad look
Both
either way, but
fucked up, right?
yeah, I guess
Both fucked up.
Rosen is more like he fell flat on his career for sure, and he got up there and was like, yeah, I'm about to straight up make all these teams eat their fucking words. But man, Caleb being like, yeah, you're not gonna be punting it all this year, and now all they've done is punt, is pretty fucking funny.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think
Decided to
Rosen
do
was
that.
obviously a worse quarterback than Caleb is, at least in my opinion. There has been some bright spots with Caleb this year, even though they've been few and far between. But unfortunately, it's not going to work out there. Probably, I could very well see Caleb going somewhere after his stint with the Bears and it being a Baker Mayfield-esque storyline where, first overall quarterback turns out to not be that bad. And it was just a franchise and situation that he was drafted into that was really awful.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they have to make sure, because I think we all know that about Justin Fields. We've been screaming that about Justin Fields up before the draft last year. But he goes, "Why would you get rid of Justin Fields and go get Caleb Williams? They're like the same goddamn player. Like they're run first quarterbacks with strong arms, not very accurate, but strong arms, athletic guys. They're like, so you're just going to get rid of one guy and then put the same guy in the same position." And look what happened. That's exactly what happened. Caleb Williams, they had a shot of Caleb Williams sitting on the bench with his head back, and he was biting on his lip or whatever. And they had a picture of Justin Fields doing the same exact thing. So it's like, it's just history repeating itself. And it's like, so that's why, I mean, like, you have got to just clean house here, because you can't let
Yeah.
Caleb Williams might be the worst quarterback ever. Who knows? But until we no, I'm not. I'm not moving on from Caleb at all. I think Caleb Williams is a good quarterback. I think that Caleb Williams deserves the that's what I mean. Like, you can't let them, but before finding out if Caleb Williams is the answer or not, you can't let this coaching staff run him into the fucking ground. Regardless of what happens from now to the end of the year, I don't think any of this can reflect on, I mean, obviously if Caleb Williams just goes out there and looks like he just can't even play quarterback, there's one thing. But I don't think you can blame too much on him. Like you said, a rookie, scheme changes, all these crazy things run at him. And then on top of just being drafted by a dog shit regime, basically right now, I just think that, like, you have to get rid of these guys, and we have to give Caleb another run under new leadership, hopefully better leadership, hopefully more stable leadership. Ryan Poles, I don't know how you guys feel about Ryan Poles in Chicago, but he's got to make something happen, because, like I said, Caleb Williams is just, he has got, and that's why I said that, I think they should have fired Eberflus today, because here's the thing. If you're going to get rid of this guy, Waldron, who obviously is not doing very well, and who Eberflus brought in as his guys, you might as well just got rid of Eberflus if it's not going to get any worse. And, like, shit, make this guy, tell this guy right here, be like, "Oh, it wasn't Matt. Here, now you're coach.
Yeah.
Now you're coach. Show us that
You know,
you can take reins." Now that's not going to happen, more than likely. But,
no,
I
yeah,
just
it's
feel
not
like
gonna happen.
you're in a position where you might as well just throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. But firing an awesome offensive coordinator, but keeping the dog shit guy that, you know, that brought him there and is really behind this, is just like, I don't
And
know,
it
just
wouldn't
like,
surprise me. Look, it really wouldn't surprise me if, because we just saw this happen with Bryce Young. We saw this happen with Baker. We saw this happen with, multiple Anthony Richardson. I mean, insert that long list of first round quarterbacks last week that we talked about here. Um, they're probably not going to move off Caleb because he was a number one overall pick. But I can't remember the last time that a number one overall pick actually had a legitimate time to build and develop as a player that didn't come out hot. CJ, Burrow, Herbert. Those guys are young and they had very good rookie seasons, statistically, like statistical anomaly seasons of how good they actually were. I, you know, Caleb's not going to have that this year, obviously. Baker didn't have that. Bryce Young didn't have that. Anthony Richardson didn't have that. God, I mean, who am I forgetting? We go down the list of players that haven't had that. It's you can see the writing on the wall what's going to happen, because the likelihood of it is you're going to bring in a new staff and they're not going to be able to turn this pile of shit around in 1 year unless they are true magicians.
Ben Johnson would be a good start.
It would be. It would be, but even with Ben Johnson, you're going to have one off season to really learn an offense and get together a team and build rapport with all the players that you need to do that with. This isn't basketball, right? This isn't where, you're plugging in really a different guy for 10 to 15 dudes. You have 50 to 80 if you include the practice squad and everybody. 52 to 85, I think, with the practice squad numbers and stuff that you can bring in. That's a lot of people to know and a lot of wheels to turn. And I think that I think that's really, really tough to ask. I mean, even, you know, two-time coach of the year winner Kevin Stefanski struggled his first year in Cleveland.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like I agree, Tingles. Like I think we're kind of talking in absolutes here, and same thing with
True. That's an outlier
Ira and
though
Stacy here.
with the
Like
Texans.
right, but I think it's possible. It's one of those things where it's not. It could very well. I mean, it's a to me it's when it comes to this, it's situational based. Like it all depends on who and what system you bring in there. Because if you
I got another
remember, I mean,
example where it didn't work the first year. That's Matt LaFleur. Look at them now. In the Packers a couple years ago, that one didn't work out too well. The
yeah, but did
Detroit
Matt
Lions.
LaFleur not have well, who they had a lot of problems that year, didn't they? Did they have
I don't
not?
know if they came in at the same time or not. Let me see.
But I know he had Rodgers still.
Yeah,
So he had Rodgers and Devontae
they
Adams.
sucked.
Yeah, but I mean I think that also could be a 38-year-old man just refusing to buy into a new system too. So, you
I'm
know,
just saying that I think that what the Texans did last year, which hasn't been as good this year, also let's not let's make sure we acknowledge that a little
what
bit.
about the Redskins? I mean, Jaden Daniels, he's with mostly first time guys.
Oh yeah, when did that coach get hired? That's a good question.
I mean, Cliff
Commanders.
Kingsbury's their head. They bring Cliff Kingsbury in to be their offensive coordinator. You
Dan
know, I
Quinn.
Dan Quinn comes. I mean, I think it happens. I don't think it happens every day, but I do think it happens more than you think it happens. I do think that they're
Oh yeah,
I
for first year. Okay,
you
that's
know
a good point.
so I
Two
think that I
teams.
just right. But I mean, if we really wanted to sit here, I'm sure we could. I mean, if we really wanted to take the rest of this episode and look up young coaches that have come in. I mean, Kevin Stefanski balled year one. He didn't he win Coach of the Year his first year, second year.
No. I don't think so. Let me see.
But like, but I just think that I do think it happens. I mean, like I said, if we really want to go through all of the teams right now that are going, the Bengals. Didn't the Bengals bring in fucking that head
Oh,
coach with Burrow?
Kevin was 11-5 his first year. Nice.
Hello.
Still don't think it's gonna happen. Good luck.
Yeah, well, that's just you. That's just you being hard headed. That's that's not you.
It's
That's
50% hit rate at best.
yeah. I'm just saying that. Look, you're not. You might as well. You're not doing anything by keeping these people here now. I mean, look, you're not going to get rid of. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to go anywhere until they bring in a staff and they give him anything.
Oh,
Look how much time they're giving Kyler Murray. I mean, Kyler Murray couldn't even put down the Xbox controllers, and they've brought
I
in.
am not saying that they do not need a whole total regime change in the Bears system. I'm saying that doing that in Caleb's second year and it not working out means they're probably going to move on from him early and not give him the time unless it works out in that second year.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to agree to disagree on that one. I think if they bring in a new coach, if Ben Johnson or somebody came in and they were like, "I'm excited to work with Caleb Williams," first year it was rough or whatever, I think they would that would be the storyline. Then it would be, well, Caleb Williams, 2 years in, two years, two different systems. We got to give him another year, and then that third year I think would determine quite a bit. I mean, there's quarterbacks that don't find their footing right away. I mean, look at Geno Smith. I mean,
Sure.
there's guys that that find their footing a few years in the league, or they need to. Bryce Young. I am not convinced that Bryce Young is a bad quarterback. So
No,
I
that's what I'm
don't
saying. But
believe.
I don't think those quarterbacks are getting the opportunities anymore. I know that Sam Darnold is a notable exception this year, but the last one that I can remember that it really worked out is Geno Smith and
Um,
Baker.
so Geno Baker,
Geno
um,
Baker, Sam.
Sam
I'd say
Darnold.
Sam Darnold. I know he looked human this past week. Um,
Again, but it happens. That's the only thing is that it
you gonna
happens.
say Russ?
Doesn't matter. It happens. So the thing is that it very well could, it could turn it around, or he could sit behind somebody for a year, or because Bryce Young's going to have to go somewhere and sit behind somebody. That's just the way it's going to have to go. And I think that if Bryce Young sits behind somebody, or if or if the Panthers bring in a fucking coaching staff that knows what they're doing, again, that's just another bad organization that brought in. Uh,
Yep.
the bad people. So I don't think
Yep.
it's again. I don't. It's
That's
more
the
about
punchline, dude.
So right, but if they bring in Ben Johnson, it's again. But they have to get again. We might as well move on from this. But what you have to do before you get to that, you have to clean house. So you have to get rid of everybody. They should have fired Matt Eberflus today. I think it's fucking stupid as shit that they didn't do that and they just fired this guy and they're going to let Matt Eberflus go, or for the rest of the year. I think that's dumb as shit. And I think that they have zero reason not to clean house and bring in all new people and let Caleb have another chance at this. That's my opinion. So, I mean, if not, they can just keep going ahead on this and they could fucking just keep beating the dead horse and ruining first round
I mean,
quarterbacks. Or
he's
you
trying
can
to
try
save his
something.
job, right? Like if I'm Eberflus, I probably do the same thing. I'm gonna blame it on my offensive coordinator and shit can him and see if we can do something different in the second half of the year that fixes it. I just don't think it's gonna.
Well, all righty. Well, let's move on from this one then. Let's move on from fucking Shane Waldron and the Bears. And let's move on to something else. Let's move on to we did Daniel Jones, we did the Bears. Probably get into UFC here pretty soon. I guess let's talk about Jake Paul and Tyson real quick. I guess we'll talk about the Cavs. We'll talk about the Cavs real quick before we get into all MMA and boxing. Let me get all this shit off my screen. Agree. Bryce, what's funny is Gino's resurrection led us to Waldron. The Bears bought a bunch of fancy new cars and no insurance. Yeah, the O-line's the problem for sure. They have to wipe the O-line clean. He says, look at the Texans. Oh, I read that. Should have fired McVay after that dumbass called a field goal. Yeah, I mean, who's Buffalo? Buffalo. What are our money lines tonight? Hold on. Let me pull these up. Because Green's just like typing random scores in here. I have not a fucking clue what he's talking about. Oh, Buffalo. Yeah, we got Buff. Oh, is this Maction?
Oh, geez.
Maction, baby. Hell yeah. All right, let's get into the Cavs. Cavs 12-0. Cavs move on. Last night they beat the Bulls. Last night was a good game. I guess the game Saturday was the one that I thought they were going to lose. Last night though, man, they looked good. Cavs fucking 12-0. Yeah, last night was the Bulls, right? Yeah, last night was the Bulls. Donovan Mitchell looked fucking crazy. 25 in the first half. Great game, dude. Them boys look. Ty Jerome playing defense. I mean, what a fucking guy that guy is. That is just he's the new Matthew Dellavedova. Team's looking great. I mean, like you said, that was like one of the one games we've had where Don Mitchell had to take over and kind of be the guy. But everybody still played their part. I mean, Darius Garland was looking good. Darius fresh off Eastern Conference Player of the Week, which is a beautiful thing. Try to pull up this score from last night, this box score. NBA. I knew he was going to drop 25 in the first half before the game started. I had a feeling I know why. I told somebody he's going to drop 25. Are you lying? That sounds like some bullshit. Wait, what the fuck am I doing here? Here we go. November 11th, Cab Bulls. 36 from Don last night. The Giddler, he played real well for the Bulls. Vucevic. Yeah, Colby White was on fire. Zach LaVine had 26. Yeah, Colby White, dude, I did not realize that guy could shoot threes like that. Colby White, another guy that hit. Yeah, speaking of guys that have flourished a little bit after they came into the league, Colby White was hot coming out of college, and I didn't really hear anything else about him as far as like after his rookie year, his whole rookie year. I feel like I didn't hear shit about Colby White, and then all of a sudden last year he caught fire, and last night that guy was hitting he was hitting logo shots. It felt like everything that Colby White shot last night.
Yeah,
Play
just
back
a
in Golden
few
State.
steps over the line for sure. He was heaving.
Yeah, so Don was the big guy last night. Don 36, Garland had 17. Mobley had an aggressive 15 though. Dude, Mobley is fucking. I mean, that guy's playing like Draymond Green, throwing elbows. He had 15 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. The guy is just the fact Evan Mobley is just playing out of his mind right now. The guy's just playing aggressive. He's playing like he knows nobody can stop him, and it's just a beautiful goddamn thing, dude. Uh, Kenny Atkinson is absolutely balling, and it is so refreshing to hear. I don't know if it was last night or it was Saturday night, but like when we were down, I think it had to have been Saturday night. We're down, and he go and after the game, they ask him like, what made you put that odd, small the first time he'd ever put that lineup out there, and they're like, what made you do that? And he was like, nothing was working. He was like, I had to figure something out. We had to put some out. We had to get some scoring. I had to figure out something that was going to work. Those are words that JB Bickerstaff, not one time his entire tenure as Cleveland Cavalier coach, ever uttered those words. Not one time. I don't think he
He
knew
doesn't
what
know how to do that.
I don't know what he knows what adjustments are.
Nope. Stick
And
with it.
Kenny Atkinson, yeah, we stick with our guys. He'll ride fucking Darius. He'll ride Don. He was riding Don Mitchell like 40 minutes in a game in like the first 2 months last year. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, why are we playing? This is a goddamn playoff game. It's November.
Do you know what the most impressive thing to me about this 12-0 start is? Not once, chat, has the Cavaliers had the same leading scorer in back-to-back nights. I'll read them off in case you don't believe me. Mobley, Wade, Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Garland, Mitchell, Garland, Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Mitchell. Every night that we come in to play, it's a good chance that opposing team doesn't know who our alpha is going to be that night. And that is so dangerous when you have three guys that can legitimately take over games. This is truly remarkable, and it's a testament to what Kenny Atkinson has done. It's a testament to how this team is stuck together, and it's truly insane. Truly insane.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking insane, dude. I agree. It is. You know, I see the people out there like, oh, they haven't played anybody, which is all bullshit. Obviously, I mean, obviously, I don't think we've played the Celtics or anything yet, but we'll get there. But like, we're playing who's in front of us, and like,
Yeah, what do you mean?
We've beat
We beat
Giannis
Golden
twice.
State.
We beat
Yeah.
Golden State. We beat Giannis back to back. We beat Golden State. We've beaten some
New
scrubs.
York.
We've also beaten some good.
We
New
took
York.
out LA. I mean, I have it in front of me, but like the only teams that are trash cans that I would say we've beaten: Detroit, sorry, Yiddy, Washington, Orlando's not anymore, really. The Pelicans, the Nets. Some would say the Bulls. I don't know if I'd say the Bulls. I think they're okay. They're treading water. And then Toronto. So maybe 3 or 4 of those teams are bottom feeders. That means that's 8 teams against legitimate competition.
Yeah, I just it's unbelievable. And obviously, we're gonna lose eventually, but it's like to the point now where like when you're watching games, it's like they go down and you're like, don't let tonight be the night, please. And then they somehow win again. I mean, Saturday night, I went and saw Pokey LaVarge I went and saw that show Saturday. Literally texted you before I walked in there, checked the thing. We were down 15. I'm like, all right, it's over. I checked my phone an hour, 15 minutes later into the show, and we had won by 5. I'm like, how the fuck does that even happen? Like, how does that even happen? Like, we just never quit, and like they will go on runs that are just, I don't know, there's just grit. I mean, it's great to see this team play with heart, and like Darius Garland, of course. There was a special him today. I think he with Malika Andrews or somebody today. He did a sit down, and he's talking about how he lost his love of basketball last year. He couldn't see out of his eye most of the year. His mouth was wired shut. He lost all that weight. Blah blah blah. So it's nice to see him come back, and everybody wanted to trade him in the offseason, and look, most people were on we need to make some changes boat. Like, we can't run it back with the same squad. And Kenny
I was
Atkinson,
one of them.
I think most people were. And Kenny Atkinson is 100% coming here and proved everybody wrong that like he has brought this same exact team. I think even minus some. I mean, like, we've got Ty Jerome, who
Well,
I think was even
yeah,
there last year,
Max Strauss is hurt.
Well, Max Strus is hurt, right? But but we're missing, Marcus Morris and some of the guys from
Right.
last year.
Right.
But yeah, so he brings the same exact team, not a team to meet in the playoffs. Agree, 50-0 to start the season. If they went 50-0 to start the season, I would straight up tattoo a Cavaliers logo in the dead center of my chest. I would,
God, do you want that?
if we go 50-0,
The
yeah.
15, like,
I
I
don't care if
mean,
we lose the fucking finals. I don't care if we lose in the playoff. 50-0.
that would be wild.
Fuck yeah, I want that. That would be a record that would almost probably never be beaten. 50-0. Fuck the playoffs, dude. I just want 50-0. I mean, this team's good. This team's good and young, and we've got Darius locked down. We got the boys locked down. So
Yeah.
that's it. We could, if we went 50-0 this year and then fell out of the playoffs, dude, we could come back and just do it again next year. Just not go 50-0. Just do what
Don
we're doing now.
wants to stay.
Don's
Evan's only
3 year.
going to get better.
Evan's getting didn't we already just sign him to the rookie max or the whatever? So, Don, he's going to be signed for max.
Did we?
I don't know if we actually got it done before the end of the beginning of this year or it's
Let me look at that.
eligible this year.
Either way, he's 100% the biggest noticeable difference. Well, I guess it's really him or Darius. To take your pick. We've seen it from Darius before. We haven't seen output on the offensive side of the floor like Evan is putting out right now. That's just, it hasn't been seen. I would even say that we've seen singular games in the past for the things that he's doing now. Finishing at the rim, playing in transition, things that it seemed like he was such a 4 that it just wasn't ever going to be possible. Evan Mobley has seriously brought back that same level of awe that I had when he was, should be defensive player of the year as a rookie in the NBA. Was that 2 years ago? It is absolutely insane what he's been able to do. And you are actually right. Evan is locked up. We did get him on that 5-year, $224 million contract. And that starts next year, I guess. So he plays out the end of this. Oh, it says upcoming extension. I guess
Yeah,
I don't
know if we locked him up, but he is eligible this upcoming year, and he's going to be. I know, or he's I don't know if he was actually eligible beginning to start the year, but I do.
Gotcha.
But he will be eligible for the max, and he's expected to get it. So that would make Darius. That would give us Darius, Don, and
Evan.
we signed Jared Allen. Remember, everybody thought we signed Jared Allen, and we were going to trade him. So we've got Jared Allen, Don, Darius, and then Evan locked down. We've basically got our starting 5 locked down. Max Strus is already signed. He came here in free agency for 3 or 4 years, whatever his deal was. So, like I said, if we are at the very least next year looking at the same exact team unless something major happens. So
the people that are up to go into free agency for 2025 are Karis LeVert, Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill, Money Man, TT, Imani, and Luke Travers are both on that RFA, like the 2-way contract or whatever. So
they're all staying.
They'll probably stay.
They're all.
We haven't
staying.
seen Imani yet, have we?
We haven't seen him. Well, Imani's hurt. Imani got hurt.
That's right.
Had surgery, so he's out. We've seen a little bit of Luke Travers. He's been balling for the
G
Spark
League,
or G League, where the fuck we are. The Charge, I think, is what we are.
Yeah,
been looking good. So, yeah, Cavs 12-0. They're off tonight. They play again tomorrow, I believe.
Yes. Tomorrow, and
we play the Bulls twice this week. I know that. So, yeah, we got 76ers tomorrow, Bulls again on Friday, and then we've got the fucking Hornets on Sunday. So, 3 more games this week. Honestly, very well could be 15-0, which would be 13-40. If we start 15-0, I will fucking, I don't know. It would be insane. So if we start 15-0, we come to this show, we stream Monday. When I get home from work on Monday, if I go live and we're 15-0, I truly don't know. Do something special. Like I might actually
pants on or off.
I might actually fucking turn my shit into a fucking box turtle on screen. So be here for that. We'll see though. 12-0. Definitely by far the best team. I think every other team's lost 2 already, so pretty cool. Pretty cool that we're the remaining team. All eyes on us. It's cool that we're like, last year we kind of wanted to be the team that was under the radar. This year it's a little different. We're happy that we got Don to stay. Everybody thought Don was leaving, so now that Don's here and everybody get fucked on that, he's here, he's staying. We can be the number 1 team in the power rankings. It's a beautiful thing to see. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, dude. Absolutely love that shit. So.
It's I know we're gonna lose some games this year. I just can't. We just need to stay healthy, and if we're gonna have a down part in our play, it needs to be in the next 20 to 30 games or so, because I think we have legitimate chance to go deep into the playoffs, and I want to see us at our best, not hobbling into the playoffs playing some of our worst ball. And it's a patch job to get by a team like Orlando, or and then of course the Celtics. At least we lost to the winners, but I look at that series and I'm like, man, it could have gone so much different. So much was left on the table in that series.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I would love to see us, get back and yeah, I want to see everybody that we saw last year. So let's
Ooh,
make a date.
Paulo scares me a little bit. I gotta be honest with you. That dude is playing out of his mind. I know he's hurt now, and that's it sucks. But what was that 51 he had before he got injured? Is that right? Or 52?
I don't care. Don can put up 50. Don's put up 70. Is Paulo put up 70? No, we got a guy that put up 70.
No, 52 was his high. He's 21 years old. Okay, you give him a break. Look, I'm taking Don over him.
So when we see him in the playoffs, he'll be how old?
21.
25. Is he going to jump 4 years this year? No, he's going to be 21. He's going to suck. My ball's still not putting up 70.
Oh, suck yeah, duh. Not putting up 70.
Dude,
look, I'm taking Don over Paulo any day of the week. I'm just saying, as far as what you want to see from a young guy that's on a shitty team, developing, Paulo's done it.
I wouldn't even say they're shitty. I mean, I think they're not bad.
Okay. How have they done since let's see. They are okay. 5 and 6 are treading water. Points per game, 23rd to 30. But they are playing pretty damn good defense. So, cool. Good. Yeah, definitely good for them.
All right. So we'll keep an eye on. Like I said, there's really nothing else going on in basketball. I mean, that's fucking. I don't even know. There's got to be games on. Well, it's Tuesday. Is there games on TV?
Yeah. So Hawks Boston are playing right now, tied at 104, going in with 4 minutes left in the fourth. Detroit and Miami are playing. Detroit's winning. Orlando's blowing out Charlotte. And New York and Philly are kind of close right now. Oh yeah, is Embiid?
I just meant
is
on
he?
TV. Is what's on TV right now? I don't need to know. Who cares about all the game? I mean,
TNT. That would be New York and Philly, baby.
Oh, okay, yeah. Philly. No, Embiid should be playing. Yeah, I guess he is playing tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna check in on that box score because I kind of want to know.
What is Embiid doing? We're gonna get into some fighting.
Going into the UFC next, huh?
That we're getting into the Tyson stuff. Let's see. Joel Embiid, 19 minutes. He's 1 of 6 from the field, 11 points. 1 of 3. He's 8 of 8 from free throws, though.
Yeah. So he's been practicing his frees in his days off, but he has not been playing.
Too. Paul George is there. Kyle Lowry. Paul George has got 20.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul's having a nice day. 4 from 5 from 3. Fucking Joel Embiid, dude.
Oh, well, fuck both these teams. All right, let's move into fighting. So we got about a little less than an hour to go. We got 2 big fighting, two NBA tourney starts tonight. You're right. I've watched them break that down to me the other day on TV in order. I still have no clue how that fucking tournament works. So I just watch it, and whoever wins, I just believe them. So I have no idea how that fucking tournament works. It's very confusing, but hopefully the Cavs win it. I don't know. It'd be cool to see them just dominate all year, win the in-season tournament, win the NBA finals, dude. It would be unfucking real. But long way to go. Cavs, like I said, they play tomorrow. They play who'd you say they play tomorrow?
We play the 76ers.
76ers. So it looks like we're getting Embiid and Paul George. So that'll be a good
No,
game.
we won't.
Oh
That's a
yeah, no
back-to-back.
back-to-back. Yeah, no back-to-back. So no Embiid, but we will get Paul George though. So that'll be good. It'll be definitely it'll be fun game though. Fun game to see. I think Tyrese Maxey still out. I can't remember. I think Maxey is out. So maybe it's not. Is Tyrese Maxey playing? I don't know. I just clicked out of it.
Let me see. He is not.
Yeah, I think
not yet anyway. Yeah.
All right, so let's move into fighting. So like I said, we got big old events this weekend. One on Friday, live on Netflix. So the whole goddamn world could watch it, and that is Tyson Paul. Which, if you remember, this got rescheduled because 60-year-old Mike Tyson had an ulcer flare up the first time.
It happens to the best of us.
They had to postpone the fight. So if there wasn't any indication that Mike Tyson might be too old to fight, probably shouldn't be boxing Jake Paul on a Netflix series. And KOs are allowed and shit. I think it's 8 rounds. I don't know, 8 2-minute rounds or something like that. They should be fighting. And like I said, ulcer flare up pulled him up the first one. So this is supposed to happen in August because I was going to miss this. I was going to be in Ireland when this fight happened.
Oh, that's right.
And it ended up not happening because I was going to get up for this. I was ready to go. Had it all planned out. I was going to wake up in the morning and watch this just because even though I don't want to watch Mike Tyson get severely hurt, I feel like I have to watch this. It's a train wreck. You got to watch it. And off the small percentage that he knocks Jake Paul out, which is probably not going to happen, you just got to see it. So that's going to be live on Netflix on Saturday or on Friday, live on Netflix. I mean, everyone, their mom's going to watch this. I mean, I can't wait to see how many fucking Mick made a deal with the dude. I went to got to the Blarney Stone, dude. I just licked it, winked at it, and said, "Do me a salad," and they did. And they postponed the fight. And here we are, a couple months later. Mike Tyson does look shredded. I'll tell you that. Mike Tyson looks good for this fight. I mean, is good as a 60-something-year-old man can look. Let me see if I can find that picture of him they posted.
31-year age difference, dude. 31 years.
Here we go. Here's pictures of Mike Tyson training this week.
Can you imagine getting knocked out by a 60-year-old man?
Yeah, I think this 60-year-old man's probably going night-night, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I know.
Sadly.
Yeah, you're right. 8 2-minute rounds, and they're using the heavier gloves.
Yeah, the heavier of the gloves for sure. I'm parlaying Tyson and Stipe. Fuck it. Absolutely you are. Abso-fucking-lutely you are.
It's because you have a heart, Franks.
So here he is during open workouts. Pause this so YouTube doesn't hate us. Here he is today. Look at Rafael Cordero, dude. Legendary MMA trainer. Rafael Cordero. That's that guy holding the pads.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Does he look slow to you? Looks a little slow to me.
He looks slow to me. Dude, Mike, he looks slow because he is.
I was so young.
He's fucking 60, dude.
Right. Of course. Yeah, I'm not. There's no.
Oh no, I'm just saying, but like, it's unbelievable that like this is happening. How the fuck is this happening? Like, and like Jake Paul, I've been watching some of the lead up to this shit. Jake Paul is like, my legacy. I'm gonna outbox Mike Tyson, the greatest. And what are people gonna say now? Jake, what do you mean? What are we gonna say now?
Nobody's gonna
beat
care.
up a senior citizen. That's what happened. You beat up a guy that had an ulcer flare up. He pulled out of a fight due to an ulcer flare up.
Dude, he can file for his Social Security if he wants to. That's how old Mike Tyson is. He can file for his Social Security. AARP membership is in the mail, dog.
Yeah, I just it's sad. I don't know. I hope that one day we get to see Jake Paul fight somebody for real. I mean, I know the only real boxer he's ever fought, he lost. I mean, what's his face beat him. The brother of Fury, Tommy Fury.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing is everyone knows the narrative, but he's good enough at his gimmick that he doesn't let it affect him, stays in character. How does the state commission make this fight happen? Tommy Fury. Yeah. I don't understand. The only thing is everyone knows he's good enough. Yeah, the gimmick. Yeah, it's I don't know. And like you said, Showtime runs with it. All these people, I don't even know if he's on Showtime, but all these DAZN or whatever. They take it and they run it. They love this shit. They're all about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They feed right into it. They pump this shit up, and like I said, now Netflix is in on it. I mean, Netflix now all you need is a Netflix subscription. There's no extra cost, none of that. So,
Can you
however many
imagine if
millions
they
of people
fought
are
in their
denied.
prime?
Yeah. Well, I mean, though he wouldn't fight him in his prime. That's the problem. Like
Of
Jake
course,
Paul just
of
has to
course.
fight somebody for real. Like at some point, we've got to see him fight somebody. It has to. We've got to. Like we all know this is this W doesn't do shit for his career, but he does such a good job of acting like he just beat the number. Yeah, no, he does. I mean, Jake Paul can sell a fight. I mean, he definitely is. Props to him for continuously getting people to tune into this shit. I mean, don't get me. I'm gonna be watching the shit for sure. I'm gonna come home on Friday and watch the shit. Why wouldn't I? So he definitely does a good job getting you either love or hate him. You tune in because you want to see him win, or more than likely you tune in because you want to see him lose. But either way, you're tuning in. So he does a great job of promoting the fight and doing his thing, and he's a great businessman. I mean, the guy's you can't hate on what he's doing as far as like business, but you can hate on how he's doing it, I guess. And he's fighting bums, and not bums, or people that are, I guess not bums, but people behind their past their prime. Tyron Woodley never boxed in his life. Drops in the first time, comes back, gets slept the second time. Now he's basically pimping for Jake Paul. He's like, I'll fight on the undercard. He's like calling out past opponents. Like him and Jake are cool, I think now. Just super gay, just bitch shit. And then he fought, remember, let's not forget, do you remember Nate Robinson is where this started? People forget
Yeah.
that he knocked out, I have never forgotten. Anytime I see Nate Robinson post on Instagram, you go under his comments, and it's still to this day. People are like, glad to see you woke up, Nate. Glad to see you finally woke up, Nate. Good to see you here, Nate. And now Nate needs like a kidney or something. So maybe that stopped, but Nate did just put out a thing where he's like needs a kidney or something. But even under those posts, people were like, would Jake take that? Did Jake take your kidney? Huh?
Damn.
Did you lose out while you were sleeping? It's like, God damn, Nate. All you had to do is not box Jake Paul. And he was so confident that he was going to do it. He was like, yeah, I'm going to fuck this dude up. Nate Robinson never fought in his life. Slept. Who else did he fight? He fought Ben
Did he fight
Askren.
Ben Askren?
Slept.
Yeah,
Yep, Ben
yeah.
Askren. Slept. Who else the fuck did he fight? He fought Anderson Silva. Slept. I didn't sleep Anderson Silva. That was boring. That fight sucked. He fought Silva. He fought Askren, Woodley twice, Nate Robinson, Tyson or Tommy Fury lost.
Just non-boxers, dude.
Nate
Except for
Diaz. He
Tommy.
fought Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
Dropped Nate Diaz. If they fought in his prime, Tyson would tie OJ for double homicides in his career because he'd killed Jake and Logan. He's still riding that high. I'd KO Nate Robinson immediately after a power nap. Yeah, straight up, dude. Like, yeah. Nate Robinson looked like he'd never been. It was so funny. Like, Nate Robinson, like, when he got knocked out, like, watching him, I guess it's been long enough. We can watch the knockout, dude. Let's watch Nate Robinson get knocked out. Let's watch old
Well,
Nate
hey, we didn't
Robinson
even
get
stream to
knocked out.
YouTube anyway, baby.
We're not on YouTube?
Nope. I just fucking caught that.
It says we're live on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it didn't pop up. What the fuck? Sorry, my bad. Restream's lying to me, dude. The top little right only said kick for me, I promise. I clicked it and now it pops up with YouTube.
I was gonna say there's at least one person watching on YouTube right now.
Hello, YouTube watcher.
If you type in Nate Robinson, all I did was type in Nate Robinson. Here's proof. Nate Robinson. I'll zoom in. I'll hit re-enter. We'll watch it load. Okay? This happened 4 years ago. It's the very first thing that pulls up. 4 years later. All you have to do is type in Nate Robinson, and it's the very first thing that pops up.
Ugh.
Listen to Snoop. Lord have mercy. Oh my God.
Okay, can't hear the audio, but
Oh, you can't hear the audio?
cannot hear the audio. I can't. Chat, can you?
The viewers, I think, can hear it. Yeah. Crazy. He does have a mean. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Jake Paul can throw a fucking. You can't hear it. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Then that's Wile E. Coyote. That's wild. I wonder why you can't hear that. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, Jake Paul. Don't get me wrong. Guy's got a right hand. I mean, and he's not even like he's not a terrible. He's not a terrible boxer. I mean, like I just think that I mean, obviously he's just not professional good. I mean, if he fought like a real boxer, like if he went out there and fought real Tommy Fury, I think that would be, or not Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury, like, that would be different story. But yeah, I don't know. So, what's your official prediction on this? You think Tyson makes it through this without getting knocked out? Boys, front office, how do we feel about this? Do we think Mike Tyson goes 8 rounds, or do we think somebody goes to sleep? Do we see Mike Tyson get hurt on Friday?
I don't want to. I will never pick Jake to win. So Tyson, please tell me you got one more left. Send the kid home crying. Because if you lose to a 60-year-old, you can't talk shit ever. I mean, he will talk shit again, but we'll all know.
God, you don't see him getting KO'd. I mean, I don't see Mike Tyson getting KO'd either, but at some point, a 60-year-old man's body is just going to go. I don't think it matters how nasty you are at that point. I don't know.
8 rounds, 2 minutes. I mean, yeah,
After watching
I
that
think
one, I feel like I want to watch the other knockouts.
I'm with Dale, but my official pick is going to be Tyson.
No KO.
No KO. Distance, which is why I know it won't happen. But I think with the heavier gloves, fuck. I hope he knocks him out. I don't think so.
Just since it was right next to this, figured we might as well just. You can't hear that
either. We can hear that one. Oops.
Bro, that was. I remember feeling so sad. Like, for you guys that don't know, Tyron Woodley is from St. Louis, and he had already let us down once, right? Like, I don't think people don't understand that Tyron Woodley, we had already been through this. We had watched him rise the ranks, win a belt, knock out one of the scariest guys ever in Robbie Lawler. I think he was the first guy ever to knock out Robbie Lawler. Wins the belt. Defends it. I think he didn't he knocked out a few savages.
He defended it once or twice, I think.
He was the best welterweight. People were on the verge of calling him best welterweight ever for a while. Let's see. I know he defended it a couple of times. So he wins it from people obviously never forget the Josh Koscheck KO, but that was beforehand. So beat Robbie Lawler. He fights Stephen Thompson. Remember, everybody, he fought Wonder Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Fights Wonder Boy. That one was one of those things where it was kind of boring the entire round, and then Woodley like drops him, whatever. And then it was he dropped him really bad in one of them. I think it was the same thing in both because it was a draw the first time. They fought again, and Woodley beat him. He beat Damian Maia. That was the one where Damian Maia, I think, tried to take him down like fucking 20-something times. Beat that. He beat Darren Till. Remember when he fucking dropped him with punches and then rolled him into a Darce choke? Gross.
Do we have one more? Or is it the bad stretch now?
And now we go Kamaru Usman, he lost to. Gilbert Burns, he lost to. Colby, he lost to. Vincente Luque, lost to. So basically, we had watched Tyron Woodley turn into go from the scariest guy in the world. And all these fights, he wasn't just losing, he just backed up and never threw punches. It was just 5 rounds of watching people walk Tyron Woodley down, and he's got the scariest right hand you've ever seen in your life, but he's scared to throw it, and then he just gets pinned against the cage, and it's the same story every fucking time. So then he retires. We're like, thank God. Thank God. He was champion. He did his thing, but thank God. He's lost 4 in a row. Get him out of here. Then he takes
It
the
is
Jake
sad,
Paul
dude.
fight. And
It
the
is
first Jake
sad.
Paul fight, they thought he won. They thought he could have been. I think he lost on, I can't remember. It was either a loss or it was a draw. I think it was a loss barely. But he gets a rematch. They rematch, and this is what happens. It was just like, why did
Didn't
we
he
even believe?
stepped in on that fight, right? Didn't wasn't Paul supposed to fight somebody else? Or is that not true?
Yes, he was supposed to fight somebody else. And then, I think, and then Woodley stepped in. Yeah.
I mean, it's
But
still bad. You still got your head knocked off, so. Man.
yeah, it's still bad.
100%. 100%.
Fucking Tyron Woodley, dude. Last thing we saw Tyron Woodley, dude, he was eating some fat chick out. Remember that video getting out on Twitter? Remember that?
Yeah.
I know Frank does.
Oh, shit. I think we covered that on the show.
Dude, Tyron Woodley was getting in that motherfucker, dude.
Bronx remembers for sure.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens on Friday. Obviously, I'll be live a little bit on Friday after work. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming for that fight or not. I might just enjoy that one. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, that is definitely going to happen for me on Friday. I'm going to definitely watch. I start every morning with that. Yeah, me too.
I looked it up. He that was Tommy Fury and Jake Paul that he stepped in for. They're supposed to have a rematch, and or I guess the first fight, and then Tyrone stepped in, got his head blown off. Yeah, damn shame.
And then he fought Fury, right, and lost.
Yeah, and then he fought Fury and lost.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I don't know if this is new or old news, but Woodley and Luke Rockholder set to coach a group of fighters in a hardcore FC fight show reality TV series. It's going to be filmed in UAB for the next 6 weeks.
You can just assume that I won't be there.
Yeah, unfortunately, neither.
Tyron Woodley, he's such a cock. I cannot stand listening to him. And Luke Rockhold is a fuck. So I never liked Luke Rockhold. One of my favorite all-time moments in MMA will always be Michael Bisping knocking him out to take that title. It was one of the most beautiful moments watching Bisping catch Luke Rockhold, and then he fucking gave him that haha, fuck you, I just knocked you the fuck out look, you bitch, you talked all that shit, what now? And then he got up, and I'll never forget when they stood Luke Rockhold up, and he's stumbling all over the place, and Michael Bisping ran over there and pointed at him, poked him right in his chest, and said, "Hey, in case you don't remember where you're at, you're in the octagon." And Luke Rockhold had a fucking fit afterwards. He goes, "That piece of shit." He goes, "Fuck that guy." He goes, "No fucking class whatsoever. You're going to come over to me and fucking tell me, hey, bud, you're in the octagon?" Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do, Luke, because you were such a bitch leading up to this. You were acting like Michael Bisping had no business even in the same arena as you. You're like, bro, you're a washed up fuck. You've never been good. I'm going to fucking destroy you. It's almost embarrassing that we're sharing the octagon together. And then he knocked you out cold. And boy, that was incredible. Incredible. One of my all-time favorite moments. So, hope you got to see it. All right. Moving on. I know Frank knows what I'm talking about. He might be the only one I knows what I'm talking about here on that one. But, all right. UFC 309 this weekend. We're going to close out on this, spend the last half hour on this. Jones, Stipe, 2 big returns. The GOAT versus our GOAT. Cleveland represent. Cleveland stand up. Cleveland, this is for you.
Straight up firefighter.
Greatest heavyweight of all time. Stipe Miocic. And Yeah, still part-time firefighter to this day. My boy's still
Yep.
firefighting to this day.
Facts.
To this day. Conceive, believe, achieve.
One
Yeah.
thing I don't know about this card is the prelims good?
Well, we're gonna scroll through the card here in just a second. We will. We're to 24-hour shift last week. Who did you? Doesn't even make sense. It's hard to tell because that's probably bullshit. But he's probably making a reference to something that I just don't get. But yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I
So
think about Stipe.
oh yeah, Stipe 24-hour shift. Absolutely, dude. He's probably pulling a 24-hour on Friday, dude. He's probably rolling. He's probably clocking out at the firehouse and driving straight over to MSG. How sick that should be his entrance. How sick would that be if what up, Rockman Drums? How we doing, big dog? What's up, dog? But how sick would it be if that was Stipe's like entrance where they like the firehouse garage opens, they close the roads down. He like they like they're responding to a fire, but it's Stipe being escorted into the Madison Square Garden. The fire truck pulls underneath at Madison Square Garden. Stipe gets off the fire truck, dude. Walks down the end. Dude, that would just be the sickest entrance ever.
I mean, I think it would definitely hit. I hope that New York would appreciate that. You know,
They
you
fuck,
have to think
dude. They go right past Ground Zero.
fat salute, absolutely, baby.
Hope Stipe enters with an axe, dude. Straight up. That's what they should. They should build. They should build a wooden wall, a cheap wooden wall, right where he walks out, and he should have to axe his way through the wall to get in. There's just sounds. His song is just family crying. Gets him hyped the fuck up. He hears a family of 5 crying on the other side of that wood.
You just see the face change. You know what I
You
mean?
just see that
He's like
the
smiling. He hears that instant change, dude.
instant. Jon Jones
Yeah.
is like refusing to come out of the locker room. He's like, no.
Why'd you have to play that? Anything but that.
No, you didn't tell me that was the deal. You didn't tell me that you were gonna. You didn't tell me you were bringing the screams.
Hope he walks in there with a fucking axe.
That'd be sick. Been busy grinding, fucking working, stream 14 hours a weekend. Hell yeah, baby. Dude, you've been on it. I've been seeing you all the time. You're on. So I love it, dude. Keep up the fucking grinding, baby. I love it. Sorry I've been quiet. Been grinding WWE. Just got a 98 pink diamond rock. Working on getting a. Let's go. 97 pink diamond Finn Balor. Let's go, baby. You ain't got to say you're sorry. You got shit going on. Keep us on the side while you're playing a little 2K, a little doobie. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Oh, is that
We need
made by
to,
2K? I didn't know that.
It
Nice.
used to be. Used to be. I think it is now too. But yeah, man, good shit though, Rockman Drums. We've been changing up here a little bit. We've been pretty sports heavy, but now we're going full sports, and we're just kind of playing around with some shit here. So hopefully we need to get our followers back up, man. We got to get the followers back here, get the subs going. We need, everybody needs to tell somebody about Pushing Mongo, baby, because yeah, we need to get the flow in here getting again. We've had some viewers and stuff, but we need to get the numbers back up here, get people subscribing, get people following, get these numbers up, baby. Faux show. Plus, I'm not as versed in UFC as y'all are. No, you're good. All right, well, let's go through the card then. So, like I said, this Saturday, Saturday, November 16th, Jones Miocic. Jon Jones coming off him winning the belt against Ciryl Gane about, I would almost, that's got to be 2 years now, I feel like.
I think it's more than 2. Well, it can't be more than 2. I feel like Dana would have stripped him of it, but
So, Jon Jones has not fought since
2021, that's my guess.
2023. He did.
Oh, damn.
March of last year he fought. So he won the belt last year, super easy. Didn't even I don't think he even got punched. I don't even remember I don't even know if he threw a strike in that fight. He basically walked forward, took Ciryl Gane down, choked him out like it was fucking nothing. Didn't even sweat. I mean, it was like Mighty Mouse pausing his video game back in the day to just go whoop somebody's ass and then coming back and playing, hop back on stream. Like that's what that is. Like went in there, Probably had plans immediately afterwards. Like, he could have went to a wedding after that. That's how clean he walked out of that goddamn fight. So Ciryl Gane put up no fight. Stipe has not fought since he said. Like he said, Franks is saying about 4
Was it
years.
Francis the last time he fought? No way.
I can't remember the last time Stipe fought. Fighting last time, it might be. It might
Was it
be when he got.
Francis?
It might.
Yeah, I don't ever want to think about that again. So if that's the truth, just say it and go on.
Yes, it was. But hey, fuck that. He beat him once. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
That's
Everybody
true.
everybody got dominated by Francis Ngannou. Everybody got knocked out by Francis, big scary Francis. But what nobody talks about is the first guy to embarrass him and drag him into deep waters and beat the fuck out of him was Stipe Miocic, and no one else had done that before then. He took that boy into big rounds, survived all the fucking heaters in the first round, second round. And it would take me a minute to find it, but there was at one point, but after that fight, there was a picture going around where they showed Francis's face at the beginning of each round, and by the fifth round, he looked like he'd rather be in hell than in that octagon with Stipe Miocic. He was so tired, he was so just beat up. I mean, he just got drug. It was the definition of drug into deep waters and drowned, and um, it was disgusting. So yes, he did get knocked the fuck out the second time, and probably took some years off Stipe's life with that. But you can't take away that first win. So,
Yeah,
and that came off of 2 back-to-back dubs on DC. He beat Daniel Cormier twice in a row.
that's
So
facts. That's facts.
that's
Almost a year apart, as I remember.
dude, and it
I,
was
I
crazy
remember
because they
those.
fought 3 times in a row. That's what people that remember that. So he fought DC, remember, and everyone thought DC didn't really have his chance. And well, I don't think Stipe didn't think DC had a chance, and he got folded. He got fucking folded. And I remember being like, "Oh my god, DC just knocked out Stipe." And I remember like the place went
That was the
nuts.
first one, right?
First one, yeah, first time they
Yeah,
fought.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, I was so heartbroken over that. He gets the rematch. DC's like, yeah, I'll give him a rematch. That was when it was kind of going the same way it was the first time, kind of back and forth, kind of. But Stipe, about I think the third or fourth round, started digging into the body, dude. He started doing these body shots just over and over and over, and it fucked DC up so bad. And then he backed up, and yeah, he got caught with something, and yeah, DC fell and covered up and shelled up, and he got finished. And then the third time they fought was a decision. So 2-1 against DC. I mean,
That's insane. It really is,
insane.
dude.
That's
It
insane.
really
And
is.
other than Jon Jones, there's nobody on earth with a winning record against Daniel Cormier other than Jon Jones. And like you said, it's a heavyweight too, so nobody wins. Nobody stays undefeated at heavyweight. Everyone loses
Yeah,
at
no,
heavyweight.
you get caught. It happens, dude. Everybody gets caught at least once in their career as a heavyweight.
I mean, so put
It's
it
gonna
this
be
way:
wild.
before Stipe got KO'd by DC, my boy, and that was in 2018. Before that, he didn't lose. He lost
5 years?
4 years. So December
Four.
December of 2014, he lost to JDS in a questionable decision.
Oh, Dos
Questionable. I think he won that.
Anjos.
The only other time he lost in the UFC is against
Junior.
Stefan Struve. He got finished by Stefan Struve back in the day, which was it's a sad moment. But
I
after
remember that.
that, he yeah, and he got he got that one back too. So the JDS one. So exactly. So he never got back Stefan Struve, unfortunately. But yeah, JDS, he ends up getting JDS back. But after he loses to JDS, he beats Mark Hunt, KO, Andre Arlovsky, KO, Fabricio Verdum, KO. So that's where he wins the belt, running backwards in Brazil. Nobody remembers it. That was in
Oh,
Fabricio Verdum's
I remember this
backyard.
one.
Fabricio Verdum. Remember, he used to make that stupid face, and everyone before the fight, everyone was given masks for that. So everyone in the crowd had Fabricio Verdum masks on, that stupid little face he always did, and the whole time down to the ring, Fabricio Verdum's doing the look, not taking Stipe serious whatsoever, and then he got knocked the fuck out. And it was one of the best moment. It was, again, one of the best moments I've ever had in UFC. That was right after Verdum beat Unstoppable Kane. Right after he just beat Kane, where that fight was in Mexico. People don't remember that fight was in Mexico. Cain Velasquez fought Fabricio Verdum in Mexico, and uh, Cain Velasquez thought that just because like he was from Mexico or from that area, that he didn't have to travel down there a week or two in advance to get acclimated to the altitude. He was just going to be okay. So
Dumbass.
and he didn't. And Fabricio Verdum obviously did go a week or two in advance to get acclimated. And dude, he got Cain Velasquez got fucked up in that fight. I mean, it was so bad, and I'll never forget that. Like he he goes in for like this shit takedown on Fabricio Verdum, just gassed, and Fabricio just fell backwards, just let him fall into it, put his fucking arm and wrapped him up in a choke, and that was it, dude. It was so crazy to see. Yeah, like Cardio Kane got fucked. Never thought I'd see it. Cardio Kane, that's what everybody used to think. Cain Velasquez was not only hard hitting and a savage and a scary Mexican guy, but he also could fight you for like 3 days straight.
Dude, the
Just
altitude is real. The
altitude's real.
altitude is real. You feel that anytime you go to the mountains, anytime you're traveling, you're going anywhere north of 3,000 to 4,000 feet, boys and girls. Make sure you are prepared, stay hydrated, and don't push yourself too hard unless you're ready for it.
Yeah, so exactly. So that was Cain Velasquez and Verdum. So he beat Verdum in Brazil, and then he defends the belt in Cleveland. I'll never forget this. Fought Alistair Overeem, beat Alistair Overeem in Cleveland. Let's fucking go. And then he defends against
Oh, that's
JDS,
right. I remember
gets
that
the win
one.
back on JDS, beats JDS, defends the championship, then beats Francis Ngannou and breaks the record for most consecutive heavyweight title defenses at 3. Nobody had ever done it before. He was
What
the
year
first
was
guy to
that?
ever 2018.
2018. Okay.
So pretty good turnaround. So he fought January 20th. He fought Francis Ngannou. Turned right around in July, International Fight Week. Fought DC, lost.
Damn. Damn. So 6 months, 7 months.
4 months. Yeah, about 4 months. 6 months. Oh yeah, I guess it would be 6 months. 4 would be, yeah. So about 6 months. And then he took a year off. So he went from July to August of 29. So after he got KO'd, he took months off, a year off.
But
Did what he
he
should.
lost back to back after that, right?
So no, he went Francis, DC, he
Yeah.
lost to DC, beat DC twice, and then he lost to Francis, and he hasn't fought since.
Okay. Oh, he did all those DC fights in a row. I thought there was
So
somebody
yeah,
else mixed in there.
no, he went DC July in 2018, DC August of 2019, DC again August of 2020. So
Damn.
that's basically like 3 years of DC and Stipe, because they said August. They almost fought a year to the day. The second fight was August 17th, 2019. Third fight August 15th, 2020. So, yeah, long stretch there, but that was like just boom. Yeah, DC fought Lewis. I think DC fought Lewis in between. Yes, I do think Stipe did not fight in between. I do think Stipe did fight. I think you're right. I do think Stipe. Let me look it up. I do think Stipe fought. Yes. So he fought Stipe the first time, knocks him out, fights Derek Lewis the same year. So he knocks out Stipe in July. He fights Derek Lewis in November. So Samir submits him with a rear naked choke. And then he fought the 2 Stipe fights, hasn't fought, retired after the last Stipe fight. So yes. And that just shows you DC was such a fucking animal. I mean, I can't stand him on the mic. I can't stand him doing thing, but what an animal. I mean,
Yeah, dude. He's gonna go down as one of the all timers, no doubt about it.
God, and then whenever and he beat rest in peace Anthony Johnson, dude. I always forget that Anthony Johnson's no longer with us, and that's so crazy.
I had forgotten that too.
DC
You son of a bitch.
I'll never forget DC choked him out, and everybody's like, "Damn, he quit." And then he was like, "Well, if I ever get a second chance again, I'll never quit." And then he fought him again and
That was
quit.
it.
DC made him quit again. So rear naked choke both times. Bro, he said the most savage thing the other day. Who DC? While you're doing that, I'm gonna pull this thing up. So,
Franks, are you a DC dick rider?
No, he's a Jon
Thinking,
Jones guy.
really?
He's a through and through Jon Jones. Does Stipe have more than a puncher's chance? I think so. We're gonna get into that just now, right now.
More than a punter's chance. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we're gonna start down here. Fights. This whole card is pretty good. We're gonna start down here. We're just gonna kind of scroll through these. Plus 480 at the moment. Good lord.
Plus 480. Jeez, I almost bet the other one just in case.
So we'll just scroll through these real quick. Veronica Hardy, Eduardo Mora, Basil Hafez, Obana Elliott, Mickey Gall coming back against Remy Brahimaz. I forgot Brahima. I know how to say his name, but if I keep trying right now, I'm going to get fucked up. Marcin Chabora, Joanto Dianes. You guys think Jon is ducking Tom? You think he's scared? Jon is not scared. I'm not even training anymore, and I'm not scared of any of these dudes. Yeah, that is pretty savage. I did see Jon Jones said a savage thing the other day, too, where he was like, what happens if I beat Tom? Nothing. He goes, I'm still the GOAT. It was so funny because he's like, what do I gain from fighting that guy? He goes, nothing. I'm already the GOAT. Yeah, I mean, period. Period. That's all you got to say. I'm not a Jon Jones guy, period. He does not have to fight. He does not have to fight Tom Aspinall for him to be the GOAT or for anything.
He doesn't have to fight anybody.
Doesn't have to fight anybody. He's been fighting those guys. He didn't have to just keep fighting guys until he's dead. I mean, of course, Jon Jones eventually is going to lose if he keeps fighting.
Yeah.
He knows
Age
that.
will keep up to him.
And he knows that. That's why he's going to probably retire after Saturday night. He is basically saying, he said all week, he goes, I will forfeit the belt to fight. He goes, I will retire or I want to fight Alex Pereira, is what he said. And he said he will forfeit the heavyweight championship belt to fight Alex Pereira for a BMF belt. He said it's the only fight that interests him. He's not interested in belts after this. He doesn't care. Legacy set in stone. He wants to fight Stipe because Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time. And after he beats Stipe, he's done it all. He wants to fight Alex Pereira and then hang it up. If he even fights Alex Pereira. So
he's fucking right too, dude. That's the thing. Like what else could he fucking do?
What else could he do?
Who else? What?
Yeah.
There's nobody.
He's the man, dude. He is the fucking man. So, yeah, this Tom Aspinall talk, quit that shit because he doesn't need to fight Tom Aspinall. It's recency bias to beat Tom, but he's right. Doesn't do a whole lot for his legacy and strong chance to. Yeah, exactly. Like, why even risk it? I mean, like you went up there, you won the belt. If you beat you beat on paper the best heavyweight of all time. Hang it up and walk away, or fight Pereira because him and Chama would be fucking sick.
Yeah, that's one of the ones you gotta find a way to tune into. You know what I mean?
A BMF belt. And I don't know if you guys saw this too, but apparently, I guess Stipe called him a bitch or something. Like Stipe said, bring it on, bitch, or something to Jon Jones. And Jon Jones was like, now everything was going to be cordial. Why did you have to go and say that? And I'm like,
that's pretty savage.
Fuck. Like, Stipe, I know that you are not a very good talker, but god damn it. Like,
Jon, he's a firefighter, okay?
He can't help it, dude. He can't help it.
Yeah.
Just
give him a break, Jon. He saves kids burning houses, damn it.
Like, fuck, dude. Can you just let him off the hook this one time? Can we just forget he said it? Still, you can go beat him. Go beat him up. But do we have to go in there with that attitude?
Yeah, don't end his life.
All right, so those are the early prelims.
Marcin Tybura is still fucking fighting. How old is that man?
Dude, and he's ranked still.
He's got to be 40 or damn near close.
25-9.
Let me see. Marcin Tybura born in 85.
He's 39.
Damn. Close.
And I don't even know who Jonathan Denies is. He looks kind of savage.
Okay, good, because I don't either. And I wasn't going to say anything. I have zero fucking clue.
David, so here's the early prelims, or here's the early prelims. Here's the regular prelims. Don't know who David Onama is. A new Lucas Almeida. That'll be a good fight, or at least on his end. Jim Miller. Jesus Christ, Jim Miller. What is left to be said about Jim Miller? I don't even know who this guy is. Damon Jackson is
the
23-7. Jim Miller, though. Jim Miller. I think he's got most fights of all time.
So I don't UFC know who that history. Is either. Oh, I saw a sneak preview of the next one, though. Nice to see him.
Let's see, Jim Miller. Jim Miller
So let's see.
is
Looks like the Leech, Damon Jackson, fought Mariscal, lost. Alexander Hernandez won. Billy Quarantillo lost that one. Danny Ige lost. And then a couple wins against people I've never heard of. Pat Sabatini, excuse me.
Yeah, Jim Miller holds most wins in UFC history. And I know he's 26. He lost.
Seems like they're kind of softballing one to him here for.
He's 41, dude. It's.
I'm with you. You know, look, I'm not talking shit. They're trying to get him to 40 so bad. You know what I mean? They're like, here, Jim.
So, oh yeah, I forget. So in April, he fought at 300, and that's right. He became the only fighter to fight at UFC 100, 200, and 300.
Oh, I remember us talking about that. That was cool.
So shout out to Jim Miller. All right, Chris Weidman, Eric Anders. Yeah. Who cares? You know, I mean, Chris Weidman's probably going to get knocked out in this fight or something. I don't know. Eric Anders is nice. He's old, but he's got heavy hands. Chris Weidman, I guess, could wrestle him, but this is a pretty flip. This is a give me fight. Plus 120 or plus 100, minus 120. I can't believe Michael Johnson's still fighting. Yeah, where is he at? Up here? I mean, Michael Johnson, Jonathan Martinez. Who the fuck is this guy? Marcus McGee.
Again, another guy I do not know. Never heard of him.
Favored though. He's favored, so not sure. Jonathan Martinez. I know Jonathan Martinez.
I've heard he didn't he lose to because he just fought earlier in the year, didn't he?
Frank says Marcus is a beast. Weidman like 40 and 40 or 41. Come on, yeah. I don't respect. Yeah, I didn't even know Michael Johnson was on this. I guess he's up here in a little bit. Where is Michael Johnson?
Oh yeah, Jonathan Martinez just lost to Jose Aldo. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Where is Michael Johnson?
I don't see Michael.
I don't know. All right, Mauricio Ruffy. These guys, I don't know either one of these guys. It's crazy. Like there are so many people in the UFC nowadays I really don't know. So I'm not even.
Yeah, they're pulling from left field sometimes for some. And this is a card. You know what I mean? I can't believe they're doing. I mean, luckily the rest of these are pretty solid. But
as they've been doing, yeah. But that's how I feel like that's how they've been doing them lately. It's like they've really put nobodies on the first two fights in the main card, and then the top 2 or 3 are just bangers. So sorry, never mind. He's on the Ian Gary versus Buckley card.
Oh shit!
All right, so Viviana, yeah, that'll be a good one. Buckley, Gary. So we got a chick fight. Top, she's trying to break in the top 10. Queen Silva, Viviana Rulo. No idea. So, all right, Bo Nichols. Here we go. Last card of the year. Yeah, that should be a good one. St. Louis boy versus Ian Gary. I really wish we would have gotten Ian Gary versus Colby Covington. I think that would have been cool, just because they were Ian was talking all that shit. But I guess this is not going to happen. But man, it'd be cool to see Buckley put Ian Gary's lights out. I know that is going to be a big opportunity for Buckley, who is kind of turned it around. Buckley was kind of skid there for a while. He's kind of picked it back up. All right, so let's get to the fun ones then. Bo Nickel, Paul Craig. Bo Nickel, my God, he's got to be the biggest favorite on the card. Minus 1,200, boys. Minus 1,200 over Paul Craig.
Jeez.
Bo Nichols is the, they call him a phenom. I mean, we've only seen him a couple times. Guy's a wrestling gangster, dude. I mean, he's an American wrestler. I think he's a Dana White Contenders Series guy. He's got hands too. Frank says Bo Nickel by KO. Paul Craig's got some nice hands though. Paul Craig's a big dude. This is like Bo Nichols. This is probably his first test in the UFC. Paul Craig's been around a while.
This is a legit fight, right? Like this is a good competition.
Yeah, Paul Craig, amazing BJJ, and I don't know if Bo gonna try to grapple fuck him. Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is probably Bo Nichols' first real test. Paul Craig's been around a minute. I mean, Paul Craig's been around a minute. I remember watching Gunnar Nelson fight Paul Craig back on a Conor McGregor card back in the day. But yeah, Bo Nichols is probably going to win this. I mean, look, this is a kind of a guy that I think the UFC is slowly building. He is going to be. I think the UFC would love to push him sooner rather than later. But it all depends if he's gonna perform. But yeah, so far he's a Contender Series guy. Dana's got a hard on for him. He keeps getting these main card spots, and he keeps providing. So this will be a good fight. I'm interested to see this one. Dude, minus 1,200, like that almost makes you want to put money on Paul Craig.
I'm seriously, why would you not put at least like
He's,
$5 or $10 just to see?
I mean, this guy, Bo Nickal 6-0, so he's only fought 6 times. Now, again, guy's a savage. He's got a big wrestling background, very, very decorated guy coming in, but
He's got the
man, I don't
pedigree,
know.
so to speak. Oh, and he just had a good fight too,
Same reach, same height.
right? Because he fought this year too. Was
Who,
he on
Bo?
the? Yeah, was he on the 300
He might
card?
have been on
Don't quote me.
300, yeah. But I think Bo Nickal's always fought on main cards. I don't think he's ever fought on prelims or anything. I think he's always been on a main card.
But
He faced
did he
Cody
do the
Brundage. Yeah, UFC 300 Cody Brundage. UFC, he won by a rear naked choke.
pizza tip money? Exactly, Green. Exactly.
However, following the biggest manager appeal the fight. Yeah, I was just kind of reading through him, but yeah, he's a bad boy. So I'm definitely excited to see this one. I don't really care which way it goes. It'd be cool to see Bo Nickal win and keep being, solidify himself as a contender and the real deal. But if Paul Craig can upset him, that'd be pretty cool. Minus 1,200 favorite. It's always fun to watch those guys lose. So I wonder what's the odds for Paul Craig, Stipe, Tyson. Probably something you probably retire off of it. You should put $50 on it. I'll send you 25. We'll retire off of it together. All right, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, co-main event, lightweight bout. Man, this is big opportunity for Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler just got done waiting for a year and some change on Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor pulls out with the foot injury a couple months ago, and Michael Chandler said, "Enough! I am done waiting. I am tired of waiting for Conor McGregor. I am no longer going to sit here and wait for him to get healthy. I'm going to move on." And that is what he did. He takes a fight with a guy that beat the absolute fuck out of him the last
I was gonna
time they
say he
fought.
already lost to him, right?
Yes, they did. And major props to Michael Chandler here for wanting to stay active. I know he's getting older. He knows he's getting older. He doesn't really have time's that on his side. But to me, that's all the reason why you should have just waited for Conor. I mean, look, I know that you want to fight, you want to be competitive, you don't want to be on the sidelines, but my goodness,
This
I
isn't the
think
one, right?
you're giving up a once in a lifetime payday for a guy that already beat the shit out of you. Again, uh, you know, uh, for competitor wise, this is the most savage thing you can do. Turn down the big payday, go head on to a guy that just beat the shit out of you. Like you're going back for revenge. I mean, it's a big risk, and props to him for doing it. But you just got to think that if he has a financial advisor or if somebody around him, somebody had to have been like, Michael, please don't do this. You're going to make a third of the money. You're probably going to lose. And then what? I mean, I guess he can then fight Conor then. I mean, because I guess Conor really didn't have much say, but Conor's not going to fight anybody coming off a loss like this. I'll tell you that. So I don't know. I think he's taking a big risk here. Oliveira beat him by, I think he choked him out last time. I want to say. I remember him dropping him. I remember they got into Chandler went towards him and tried to scrap with him, and I know Oliveira put his ass onto the ground. I know that, and then I
Yeah, I
think he got
remember
on
how
the
it
ground and he
happened,
finished
but
him.
I definitely remember him losing. That's for sure.
I think I'll take Chandler this time. Hard to know after all the time off, but he was working Charles until that left hand. It looked Charles probably favorite, but I'll go on a whim and say Chandler. Conor didn't have a fight, so technically if he does come back, Chandler could maybe still take it. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, it'd be one of those things where it's like, I think I don't know if Chandler's going to have the opportunity. If he beats Oliveira, then maybe. But I don't, and obviously Conor shouldn't have all the say he's going to, but he's going to, and he's going to be able to fight basically whoever he wants. So I don't know if he's going to fight. If Chandler loses, I think that's out the window. Yeah, I'm looking right now because I remember he dropped Chandler with the hook, and then I remember it being a ground fight. TKO punches. Yep. Yeah. So he did. He dropped him and finished him. That's right. Well, and then didn't he come out the next round? Was it a second round? Because it was right at the beginning of second round is when they say this fight ended. I want to say he came back out like after the first round and just went right back to work and finished him. I think is how it went. Um, shit. But yeah, what do you feel about this one? And do you if you're in Michael Chandler's shoes, are you wanting to fight? Are you gonna sit around and wait for Conor, or is this a fight you're wanting to take?
I mean, God, he is up there in age. He's probably 37, 38, something like that. If I were him, I would have waited for the payday with Connor. But it's if you feel like you can still compete and you want to keep doing this. This isn't necessarily your last fight. In his eyes, I'm sure he's thinking, he'll take this fight and then maybe still be ready for Connor whenever Connor's healthy, if he's ever healthy, whatever. I don't know why. I mean, I guess you take this fight for revenge, but like that was a really one-sided fight. And I know that Charles has had his ups and downs since they actually had this fight. But man, that is going to be like Michael. What happens if he just does you dirty again and you got to take another? Because wasn't there a break after that or?
I don't. Chandler, he might have taken a break. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was wondering if there was a break after that loss to Oliveira because I just remember it being brutal.
He says you gamble on, Green says gamble on yourself to win, get the pay down the road. Yeah, but this kind of is down the road for Chandler. That's the thing. Like Chandler's been around a long time. This is probably the
is he 40?
I don't know if he might not be.
I was wrong
40.
about Tibira, but
he might be.
Michael
He's probably
Chandler
pushing 40.
is. Let's see,
probably 36, 37.
38. He's 38 years old.
So 38 years old. He's been around. I mean, he's been in a lot of wars in the day. I mean, back in, he was coming from Bellator and, he's had wars with, Eddie Alvarez and, just different kinds of just absolute battles and, in his day. And, Justin Gaethje, I think he fought Dustin Poirier, Dustin Poirier fucked him up. So he's been in some wars, dude. But he's been around a long time. Pitbull, yeah, Patricky Pitbull. Exactly. He's been around the block. He's a legend in this game. I mean, he's been around a long, long time. So at this point, I think that's why he goes for the payday, because it's like he's been gambling on himself a lot, and he keeps doing this, to the top thing, and then he goes out there and just because he's a wrestler by trade, and he goes out there and just wants to fight and abandons the wrestling, and he gets beat up. He either knocks you out or he gets knocked out. He's one of those go out on the shield type guys, and this is just not one of those fights that I think you want to take when you're that kind of guy. I don't think that Michael Chandler he can go through this whole lead up and be like, yeah, I'm going to take this fight different. I'm going to approach it differently, blah, 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 blah. But once he's in there, I don't think Michael Chandler, and I don't think once the fight starts, I don't think Michael
Why
Chandler's
Charles?
Yeah, I just don't
Like
think he's able.
He is such a good matchup for you, in my opinion. Just stylistically, I think Charles matches up against Chandler very well. I'd take Charles in this one too. I know that Frank said that he's going to take Chandler in this one, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm leaning Charles on this one. I'll make a pick when I make my prediction video here later in the week. But yeah,
does anybody do Verdict anymore? I still do Verdict every now and then.
Yeah, I did not too long about maybe a month ago. We watched one on here, and I remember I judged the fights, or I did the rounds on here.
Nice.
But yeah, make sure if you're on Verdict. I remember Frank's got on there for a while, but all right. Main event, the big dog. The return of Jon Jones, greatest of all time, MMA GOAT, never lost. Just absolutely just been perfect his entire career. And then we got the heavyweight GOAT coming back after 4 years almost. I know we kind of just talked about this. We did a lot of talk about this a minute ago, but just kind of picking up on that where we left off. I I think Stipe. I do think Stipe. Green asked if he had a puncher's chance. I definitely think he has more than a puncher's chance. I think Stipe is. Hopefully he comes in here and fight, because the problem with the second Ngannou fight is that he didn't fight like the first time. He He landed one good shot on Ngannou and then just went rushing in and just stopped being patient. So I think if we see a patient Stipe Miocic, and I think we see a guy because his boxing is incredible, he knows how to fight, he knows how to keep the distance. I mean, the Verdum thing, I mean, he literally knocked out Verdum running backwards, and it's like I he's that good, but is he good enough to beat Jon Jones? I don't know. I don't know if he's good enough to beat Jon Jones. We don't know what Jon Jones really looks like at heavyweight. You know, other than that Cyril Gane fight, which was so quick. I mean, you couldn't really take much from that. Cyril Gane didn't put up any fight, so it's kind of hard to take anything from that. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think this is going to be the best. I think this is the best fight for him at heavyweight, other than Tom Aspinall, obviously, but we're not getting that. So I think Stipe is it's a legacy fight for both. I think Stipe deserves this fight. I think Stipe, if he decides to retire after this fight, if he loses, I think that's the perfect way to go out. It's a great payday, big payday for him. But I also think he stands a chance. And if Stipe can shock the world twice, like he did against, well, I guess the third time, because Verdum was an upset the first time, and after he lost to DC, no one, the second time everybody thought he was fucked. So third time shocking the world. This will probably be the biggest one. I don't know. This is gonna be a good fight, though. I think I'm very interested to see what Jon Jones is actually going to look like at heavyweight in a fight that's going to last longer than half a round. I think that we're going to see multiple rounds, if not all five. And I want to see what heavyweight Jon Jones looks like in the fourth round of a war. That's what I want to see. So we know Stipe's got it. We know Stipe can be there. And we know Jon Jones can be in a war. We've never seen it at heavyweight. So let's see if he can eat the power of Stipe Miocic if he has to and survive it. I think that's the biggest question: is can he, can he take all the things he had at light heavyweight and over in heavyweight?
Yeah, I mean, I think any UFC fan in the chat is going to be excited to watch this fight. There's probably people that aren't even fans that have heard of these two guys and are going to watch this fight. This is just one of those perfect way to send out the year. The last. Well, I guess it's not the last big event, but the was it the last card? No, I
No,
guess not.
December. I think it said. I
Yeah,
think that one that he was
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying is the Buckler.
But for all intents and purposes, we could walk away from this fight saying this was the best fight of the year. I think from like a stylistic point of view, this is probably the most interesting one. At least for me. I mean, as Franz is blowing up the chat, he's saying that John's coming off a torn pec, saying that he's not nearly as strong as he used to be. Maybe not doesn't have the knockout power, and it's not really been his forte anyway, right?
Says it's a 5-round war like Jones Reyes Al Cream. Same.
Yeah. This is just going to be a fun fight to watch. Both these dudes, top of the game, battling. I mean, these are two legends. You know what I'm saying? This is a lot like when Stipe fought DC, where it's like, man, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just excited to watch. And definitely Bones has had a couple of those too. I don't know if Cyril Gane was one of those guys, but the Smith fights, Gustafson, obviously,
DC.
Yeah, Reyes. Yeah, DC, of course. I mean, dude, this is gonna be fun to watch, no matter which way you slice it. I don't know who I'm going to pick yet. I probably will pick Stipe just because represent. But when it comes down to like if I would put money on this fight, this would be a tough one to put money on for me at least. I don't know. Green, he definitely has a chance. Like it would not shock me in any result. I think. I guess maybe if John knocks out Stipe, that's not really his MO, like Frank said. But I could see Stipe finishing John. I could see John choking out Stipe, and I could see this going the distance too. I mean, you hope it's not too much time off for Stipe, man. We know it's been a couple years. I think we said 4 or 3, whatever earlier. But so sometimes people come out really fresh after that long of a break. Sometimes they come out, looking like, why'd you even show up today? So I don't think that about Stipe. I think he's going to show up, but you never
we'll see.
really.
Like I said, and most people didn't even think this fight was going to happen. I think I think that I know Franks and I have talked in the past that everybody said if Jones ever fights Stipe, he's probably going to retire afterwards. And most people thought are we ever actually going to get this fight? Is Jon Jones need to be? They're like, Jones needs to fight. Jones needs to fight. He needs to fight Aspinall. Is Stipe even is this fight ever going to happen? Blah blah. And then here we are. We actually got it. It's actually on the schedule. It's actually going to happen, barring any last minute injuries. So hopefully everybody gets through this last week healthy, and we can fucking. I know they had a presser today, so hopefully everybody just no crazy fucking training injuries or any of that dumb shit. Because I feel like that's always. I think Bilal Muhammad just got hurt in training. Somebody else got multiple. Recently, there's been these a couple times where people get hurt hard training at the last minute. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? I saw Alexa Grasso broke her leg today in training. But
Really?
yeah, even though she's not, I don't know if she's training for a fight, but still. So yeah, so I'm glad to see this fight's happening. Frank says, "Die hard wet dream." Of course, newcomers and many people in general who want to see Banger want to see Tom. Yeah, fuck those guys. As purists, you gotta let John Stipe do it. They're slated to fight. Tom getting interim is only right. Yeah, and dude, they're legends. Like I said, Tom Aspinall can wait. I don't care about these fucking guys are like, oh, he has to fight Tom. He has to fuck Tom Aspinall. Like, these guys are legends. They deserve it. Stipe Miocic is not like holding the division up. He's not like some guy who's been dragging ass and getting knocked out all the time. He lost one fight to the scariest guy on earth after beating Daniel Cormier twice. And then you got the GOAT. So you're never going to tell Jon Jones what the fuck he has to do, because he's the greatest person that's ever stepped in front in that octagon, and he's the champion right now. And you're never going to tell Stipe Miocic what to do. He's a fucking GOAT. He's the only guy that's ever defended the belt 3 times in a row. He's the best heavyweight on paper in heavyweight history. So you got to just let these guys have it. You got to. And like Frank said, it was scheduled before. It's not like Tom Aspinall and Jones were scheduled to fight, and then Aspinall or Jones had to pull out, and then Stipe stepped in and got it, and then we just forgot about Aspinall. This was the original fight, and then it broke down, and then Aspinall came in the picture. So now that they're both healthy, this is the way it's got to go. But
And no true UFC fan gives a flying fuck what Tom Aspinall's saying. Like, really? Do you know any true UFC fan that
well, I
like
mean, he
actually
is
would prefer to see that?
maybe. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot. That's the thing right now, is there's a lot of people mad about this because Tom Aspinall is like the guy. Like,
Fuck him.
people are like, that's why Frank's saying we're not going to see Jones versus Aspinall, because Aspinall probably beats Jon Jones at this time. At this moment, I think Tom Aspinall might beat Jon Jones, and I think he knows that, and I think that's why he's not fighting him. But again, he's a newer guy, so that's why it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck what he says, because it is, when it comes down to who he is definitely probably the best heavyweight on planet Earth right now, outside of these guys. Probably even better than Steve. I don't know, but regardless of that, you have to just get out of the way for a second. You have to just let them happen, and all those Aspinall fans, because there are a lot of them who are like, oh, well, Jon Jones isn't even fighting the best heavyweight. He's fighting Stipe. Yeah, well, Stipe has done more for this heavyweight division than Tom Aspinall could ever dream of doing. So shut the fuck up and enjoy the fight. That's what it's going to be. He says they keep saying Jon took 3 years off to move to heavyweight, then properly trained to gain weight, when in fact he was in constant negotiation. Even once tweeted, if they offered me $15 million, still enough compared to how much I went underpaid. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, and I think he was also dealing with some legal shit too. So probably not a bad idea for him. It's things take time, and
he's fought since then, right? If Cyril,
he
we
has
just
not
talked
fought
about
since then.
Cyril was last year, so even if he has took 3 years off, that's old news at this point. I mean, I'm sure people are still bitching about it. I'm not saying you're wrong at all, Franks, but fuck, I don't. If you really don't want to see Stipe and Jon Jones fight, you're probably under the age of 21.
Oh yeah, he says my thing is, if Jon Jones is the week to retire, if there's an interim champ, if Tom was just number 1 contender, in fact the interim belt was made in placeholder. Yeah, I mean, for sure. But again, it's Jon Jones, and nobody's going to tell Jon Jones at his age, after what he's done, hey, you need to fight Tom Aspinall. And if you're one of those people that if he does retire after this, and you run around spewing that narrative, and I'm like the biggest Jon Jones hater in the world. I was a DC guy, never was a Jon Jones guy ever. I've always known he's a cocksucker. So, but I've accepted it. It's like it's Tom Brady. I hated Tom Brady forever, but eventually you just have to accept he's the GOAT. And same thing with Jon Jones. You just have to accept it. So if you're one of those guys that when he retires, if he doesn't fight Tom Aspinall, if you're going to run around wasting your breath being one of those fuckheads that's like, oh, well, he retired and ducked Tom Aspinall, whatever. Go ahead and waste your breath and look like a fucking idiot. But that's on you. So Jon Jones, Stipe, this is a fight that needs to happen. Very excited about this. Saturday, we will be streaming for this. Friday, like I said, Friday we'll go live for a little bit now that we're going live daily. That is the plan going forward, at least an hour a day. But Saturday, we are definitely going to be live for this. We are going to be streaming while this is going on. Big time fights. Cannot wait for this. I think Frank said he was going to try to hop on too. So should be a good time. And everybody's welcome. Dale, everybody welcome. Front office, whoever's ever Saturday, come on, watch the fights. Biggest card of the year to end the year. We do have one more 310, which is Bilal versus Shavkat. And I don't even know if Bilal, I guess that's the rescheduled one because Bilal's got a fucked up foot. He just pulled out. That's got Pantoja, and Pantoja's fighting some guy that's never even fought in the UFC, I'm pretty sure. Cyril Gahn is fighting that too. He's fighting Alexander Volkov, which would be a good fight. I think he loses that fight.
Why
I
not
don't know.
switch? Why not move Jones Miocic to there?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is kind of a Bilal Shavkat. I want to know if, I don't know if this is the rescheduled one or not. Because Bilal Muhammad just pulled out of this fight recently because he's got like some fucked up crazy infection in his toe. And it looked disgusting. You put a fixture up. Bilal's out. Okay, so this one isn't even. So this one doesn't even have. So Bilal's not even on this one currently. So that makes that even worse. Pantoja against some guy that he's never fought. Alex might get the call with Magomed. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, I just couldn't remember if I knew Blau pulled out and they had to reschedule it, but I couldn't remember if it was one that they hadn't rescheduled yet, or if it was one of those things that they're like, Blau, they just had to push it back a few weeks or something. But
fun fact, guys! Apparently, they're going back to the old belts or the old gloves.
yeah, Franks and I talked about that earlier, just for this fight. Isn't that crazy?
Huh? It's like they want maybe they want something to do with eye pokes. I feel like I've heard a storyline around one of these two fighters with that before.
Pretty crazy, huh? I called it the Croatian screw job earlier. Franks and I talked about this earlier. Fucking stupid. Never. They have new UFC gloves, all these crazy things that in place to protect eye pokes, and then Jon Jones fights, and they go, "Yeah, we'll just use the old gloves." Oh yeah, okay. So pretty cool on that. I do want to say before we get out of here, Raheem Morris is another coach that's doing very well his first year in the NFL. I just
Damn, you're
Googled
still
that earlier.
salty about that?
No, I just Googled it earlier, and I'm exiting out of everything, and the picture's
Damn.
still up. Raheem Morris and Jim Harbaugh, actually, and the guy in Seattle.
Damn. Still, dude, still getting you.
Dude, I'm just telling you, it's the last page open.
Look,
Guys,
do you want to make good content or do you want to agree all the time?
Dude, I'm not
What
saying.
do you want? You
what are you
choose.
talking about? I'm
You
just
choose.
telling you, and I'm just giving you another one.
You
Raheem
choose,
Morris.
man. Look, I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Tell me the Falcons aren't doing good. Tell me the Seahawks aren't doing good.
The Seahawks? The Seahawks?
What are the Seahawks doing right now? Well, they're injured. I know that. But what are they at when they're healthy? What are they?
I actually have no idea what they're. I feel like they're 500 right now. That's what my brain tells me, but I actually don't know what their record is. Maybe they're a game or two above.
Let's see.
Love watching dad and dad fight. He's still so salty, dude. He was just closing out attached. He's like, "Ooh, got one."
It was right there, dude. Yeah, they're 4-5, but they don't have DK and they don't have.
Is he still fucking hurt? Damn.
Yeah. So wow, if I look at you go, but yeah. So like I said, literally the last one. I wish I had this picture. I already exited out, but it was a good one. I found a picture. It says these are the 8 new head coaches, and it was a fun little photo. Nick has allowed you into his wolf pack of Mongo and make it a wolf pack of 2. Don't fuck it up. Yeah. Well, he's been around for a long time. He ain't fucking it up. All right, so before we get out of here, though, I do want to say the Mongo money lines are not looking very good today. I did post them out late, today, so fuck me, but it is what it is. I see a lot of red on this card, so I did see KU hit today, but that's about it. Everything else is looking too good. Franks, thank you guys, my man. Love you. Have a good rest of your night. Franks, we'll see you tomorrow. For the rest of you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Obviously, like always, episode 71 in the books. Another great week. Tomorrow we got Wednesday. Dale will be on. Front office will be here. We got Yiddy at 9:00 his time, so about 8:00 our time. Tomorrow we'll look back at our week 10 predictions and count up our records from last week, and then we'll do our week 11 predictions, and then we'll cover whatever else happens in news tomorrow, because as we all know, every day in sports there's shit's happening, so there'll be plenty of news to cover tomorrow. So we'll get all that done. Maybe we'll do a little gritties or something. We'll make it happen. But tomorrow, week 10 predictions, our coverage of last week, week 11 predictions, and Yeti. So make sure you guys join us tomorrow. Make sure you guys scan that QR code and follow us on all of our socials. Make sure you guys fucking follow us on Action News Network or Action Network. I don't know why keep calling it Action News. I told somebody else today. I said, dude, follow us on Action News. They're like, what? I'm like, forget that. But follow us on Action Network at Mongo Money Lines. Join that Discord. Anything you guys want us to talk about, the Discord's there for you guys. Join the conversation. Start a conversation. If you guys think we need to cover something that we're not covering, throw it in there. We'll make it happen. So we've also got a tab for the money lines and everything else in there. So join that, and everything is there. So follow us on all that shit. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your Monday. Peace.